He might not be from Krypton, but he's heads above the rest. His knowledge can't be questioned. You can put it to the test. So if you want to hear the truth and have nowhere else to go, I'll give you the solution. Just tune into his show and just kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod.
Hey, listen.
Kneel before
These phones are off.
Can we hurry this up, please?
You know, guys, listen to me really quick. Now, just now, when I die, don't think I'm a nut. I don't want no fancy funeral. I just want one like old King Tut.
I thought that was going somewhere inspirational. Welcome. We have our
I thought
usual.
it was going somewhere too, but then it went like fucking nowhere.
We have our usual suspects.
You were way too young.
We are have our usual suspects, and tonight I got to tell a funny story before we get started. So nobody interrupt me. I'm gonna kind of
I'm
set
gonna
up.
interrupt you.
I'm gonna set up the mood so you guys can get a story. So if you guys don't know, I got a screening.
The fucking mood. You're gonna set the mood.
I'm gonna set the mood. So I got a screener to go see Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Too. And so I pushed back the stream to do that, of course. And a little bit of an exciting news. I may actually get to do an interview with the director, so stay tuned for that.
Watch him try to push back the stream for that too.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Honestly, Zod, if you do get an interview with him, can I join you? Like, just with the one guy that we talked about. We actually did a review of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey when it first came out last year, and compared it to Cocaine Bear. And we actually didn't shit on the guy. We gave him constructive criticism. And we were actually pretty nice about it. I watched it again, and I was like, "Oh wow, we were actually like pretty tame." And I just that guy's mind, and I think that if you're able to talk to him, that would be amazing. Honestly,
I do want to say, so just to set you up, I text everyone. I let them know, hey, we're going to be doing a stream later. So I text Chris and I tell him. And so you guys would have thought I was a fucking heroin addict. I receive a call like 5 minutes later. And you guys have never heard Chris's low tone, but I was nervous. Like I thought a family member died or something because he's like, wait, I got to talk to you but I got to talk to you. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, really? he it was that moment where like somebody has a drug addiction and they put their hand on your shoulder and they're trying to coax you into why you should go into rehab. He had that like conversation with me, and it felt like it felt like somebody stepping into an addict going, hey, you need to go get help.
Felt like an intervention.
Jordan,
an intervention, if you will.
I likened it to the scene in The Dark Knight. So set the stage. Dark Knight. They're trying to look into the Chinese company and all the bad stuff the Chinese company's doing. And at one point, Bruce Wayne tells Fox to go to China to talk to them about it. And he goes and he says, well, we're not going to work with you anymore. And the guy says, a phone call would have sufficed. I thought that it did not, it needed the phone call in this particular situation. It didn't need a text back. It's like, okay, I got to talk to this guy. He's
so, and I do want to say a short little critique. Tons better than the first one.
What critiquing?
Tons better. Picture everything they did, throw that out, and get like a good, competent story, actual dialogue, actual backstory and personality, and inject that all and completely retcon the first movie, and you have this one. They completely, and the retcon, I have to say, is one of the best use of a retcon I've ever seen. And I'm not going to tell you what it is because it'll be a spoiler to the movie, but watch it, and it was a very clever way to make it a sequel but retcon everything in the first movie.
Mhm.
And I truly believe now, seeing this one, that it was solely the budget that hurt that movie. Well, there were
Yes,
some
because
writing.
that's what I kept thinking.
$50,000 must have really
But
done the difference.
you know what doesn't?
No,
What
this one was
doesn't?
made for
You know who has
100,000. The
no
last
problem?
one was
Wait,
50.
Yes,
Zod,
that's what I
so
just said.
you
Wait,
know,
time out. Wait, Justin, I have to point something out here. He said this one was 100,000. The first one was 50. I said $50,000 made the difference.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Obviously,
I'm sorry.
Zod does not know how to do math. That's
That's
why
why you guys
EB
do
and
that's why you're the
myself
math
are in
guy.
charge of it. I
That's
understand
why
this.
you're the math guy, and even you
$50,000, literally a cheap car these days, was the difference between a good movie and a bad movie, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it shows.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway,
And you
So
post
are you
this thing
telling
back to
me?
that.
Okay, all right,
well,
hold on.
hold on.
You know,
Zod. I
so
think it's
that
time. I think it's time. You know what?
$1,000 does not make a difference when you're trying to do special effects. Actually, hire people who can act in the role. Get a script writer to do the treatment, or a well-known script writer. Those things matter in
And
a
now,
movie.
ladies and gentlemen, let me point out the hypocrisy of the things that Zod is saying.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
jeez.
Zod is talking about
over
people
with.
acting in a movie called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Motherfucker, you still gotta act. You gotta act scared. You gotta act shocked. You gotta
I would
act
be
sad
acting
when
scared when
somebody.
I knew I was in the
Whoa,
fucking
no,
movie.
like, I don't
And
understand.
you know what?
what-
I'm not, and here's me acting like I give a fuck about the rest of what you're gonna say.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's me acting like I give a fuck. Welcome to the Quentin Tarantino tier list. I've been looking for this forever. Everything will go to fucking top tier. So I am going to be completely and totally 100% fucking biased. So these motherfuckers are actually probably going to keep me in check. Because if I had my way, there'd be nothing except for one movie. There's one movie I don't like. There'd be nothing else even fucking close to the bottom in his filmography. So before we start,
well, you know what?
Yes,
You know what?
do not interrupt me.
damn.
This is my night. This is for me. I love Quentin Tarantino. The day this man retires, I am going to be in a fucking
He's got one
state
more.
of
One
fucking
more.
emotional trauma. I'm gonna need some fucking counseling. Chris is gonna have to call me up, maybe put a hand on my shoulder, tell me it's okay. To me, when he retires, fucking cinema is gonna be fucking dead. To be quite honest, I think Martin Scorsese and him are on the same fucking level. I would put him right there. I would even say,
wait, Zod, I will give you one more if you can take it off of full screen. I will give you one more. I think Tarantino is slightly better than Scorsese because he's had less time to establish himself, and he did it much quicker. He obviously had a voice. Scorsese paved the way for him, absolutely. However, I think the movies that that Tarantino has made have surpassed the testament of time. They're timeless, and Scorsese, not so much. Like The Departed, great movie. I love it. I think Pulp Fiction is 1,000 times better.
I can't believe it. I actually think fucking Justin's right. There we go.
Well, just wait until you hear my opinions on the movies. So the categories for this evening are we're going on a ranking from 1 through 6.
Hold on.
The best.
Before you introduce the categories, I need to let everybody know that, dude, your thumbnail fucking sucks. Like, I like the picture, but nobody can read any of the words in the upper left-hand corner. It's terrible. Go ahead, Justin.
Oh, okay. It has nothing to do with me, just like the thumbnail itself. Okay. That's cool. I had nothing to do with that.
No,
hey, send me that.
I can tell that you
Really
have nothing to do with that.
Zod.
Yeah, so the categories are.
Zod, send me that thumbnail in Twitter.
You're gonna fix it?
No, I'm not. I'm just gonna put it up when I tweet this out.
Okay, so
there you'll be actually able to see it.
The categories are we're going from the S tier or GOAT tier, then S tier down to the F tier, which I'm not sure how many we're gonna put in there, but the categories are Royale with cheese, masterate, which was a favorite pun of mine, sword fights, Kurt Russell driving a car, which is like the boring sort of like movies, honorable trash, as always. I simply reject your hypotheses, which is a quote from Tarantino, my favorite, and it deserves that bottom category title. And what the fuck is this movie? Which I think, can we all safely say that we can delete this category because we've all seen them?
Oh yeah,
sure.
I've seen
I'm
them
going to
multiple
delete the
times.
category because we've seen, most of us have, between all of us, we've all seen the movies. If you haven't seen this movie, let us know why you want to see the movie or whatever. Yeah, we'll give you a good education. And if you have any input on any of these movies, let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Really quick. Zod, I asked you. No, I didn't ask you. Just send me the fucking thumbnail already.
Oh, I'm not gonna do that shit till we're done. Like, you expect me to do that now?
No.
Like,
Expect
come
you to do it now. So
on.
something
Like
to make
that's
people watch.
like, how long have you known me? That's not how I work.
Do you want people to watch? I'm posting a tweet. I'm tweeting out. I'm Xing out. Whatever the fuck you call it now. I'm doing that now, and it makes it look pretty, and it gets more clicks and all that fun stuff.
Just send them the damn thing so you both can shut the fuck up and we can get the damn stream.
This coming from the guy that didn't do some crazy shit with Van Halen's Van Hagar. You give me two sides of this where you piss on Dave and you shit on Sharon, but like almighty Hagar doesn't get a bad category.
What are you talking about?
The Van Halen one you showed us.
Oh, that was a demo one. Like that was like
sure.
No, I mean, I can't what am I supposed to have a category of can't drive 55? Okay, fine. I can do that. That could be honorable trash. That's fine.
Van Hagar, Red Halen.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. It was one that was made for, just like, hey.
I know who you prefer. We've had this discussion before.
Well, it's also like one of those things where this is just a test. I can't,
Is this only a test?
Yes.
Like if this were the real thing,
we're all experimenting, having fun.
Would there be a set of instructions after it?
Yes. Exactly. That's the whole point, Chris.
So,
have you ever seen a movie? Yes, that's the point.
There it is.
Now, anyways, why don't we get started with the rankings? First off, Reservoir Dogs. Who wants to start that one? I think
we'll just go down the line, and I want to start this one. Royal with cheese, 100%. This movie for a sophomore film is brilliant. Improves.
No, it's his first film.
That's what I'm saying. Or for his first film. I'm sorry.
His freshman film.
Yes.
His sophomore film is what you are talking about.
I understand your rankings. We all went to the same school in Krypton. Anyways, for his first movie.
Krypton. I think you have.
We do. We have large academies and crystals, lots of crystals.
Yes.
Anyways,
I don't think you have lots of crystals. I think you take lots of crystal meth.
Yes.
Your mortal drugs do nothing to me. Anyways,
by the way, hi Tim. How you doing?
For what's up, Tim? On your left. For his first film. To me, this is an example of less can be more, and this is the start. And when I fell in love, because Quentin Tarantino, if you think about the movie, there's not a lot of like his later movies would have straight up bloody action sequences. There is one in here, but it's more of self-contained, story-driven, and heavy dialogue. And this really shows you where the witty, clever dialogue would come in later. My favorite scene probably across cinema would be the scene in the diner where Steve Buscemi is giving his reasons of why he doesn't tip, because it makes so much fucking sense the way he says it. And it's, to me, the example of picture perfect dialogue. Like, if you want people to pay attention to you delivering exposition, this is 100% like a masterclass in
Yes.
expositing.
Can I add on to that?
Yeah.
So on top of that, you have these boring movies with a bunch of exposition, and this is where Zod, I'm sorry, but David Fincher goes wrong. The dialogue is not as interesting as
No, I get that to you,
as
100%.
as it is with Tarantino, and a lot of movies fail that. They fail at making these exposition scenes, which are just there for exposition and delivering information. They're always done so boringly, and that's why like so many people don't remember what happens in the movie because it's not memorable. It's trash. It's boring. Nobody likes to be preached to, and this movie doesn't preach to you. In fact, I don't think very many Tarantino films preach to you the exposition. There are a couple that border that line, but not this one.
Yeah, as I was saying, it's to quote somebody famous, the Alfred Hitchcock thing, right? He creates tension within dialogue itself, and I think that's 100% of a strength of 90% of his movies.
Thomas, how you doing?
Hey, what's up? Good to see you, Thomas.
I would love Thomas to just come in here to rank one film if he wants to. That would be fun.
I would love it. Send him the link.
Like, yeah, why not? But I love Thomas. I haven't seen him in a while, so it's just good to see him. But I would agree that that Reservoir Dogs is really good. However, you put it in Royale with cheese. I would put it in Masterate, which is higher than I normally would do it. I would normally put it in Sword Fights. It's his first movie. We can see like some of the cracks in what is to come per se. But I'm putting it in Masterate just because it's a great film. It's not quite the GOAT. You know what I mean? So I'm going to save that for later. I know we talked, Thomas, and I haven't seen your face in a while. I haven't seen you on a stream in a while, is what I was saying.
I'd like to come up here for a second.
Hey, Aaron, what's up?
Well, I didn't say anything in the chat. I was watching them play Fallen Order either last night or the night before.
Speaking of which, PB, where would you rank this?
Reservoir Dogs goes in. Let me make the screen big because I can never remember the fucking names of these goddamn tiers. Oh, Master 8. Give it the old 5 points. Well, it's a very engaging movie for not a whole lot physically happening on the screen. There's a lot of sitting and standing around talking, which typically isn't overly engaging. I mean, unless you got like Tom Hardy talking to Venom, like that's a very engaging conversation. But a bunch of at this time, this long ago, I don't remember what year this came out, but
92.
A bunch of random,
1992.
This is a bunch of random guys sitting around a table.
And it's interesting.
Big names. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest fan of, let's call it, mafia movies, right?
Oh, like Ocean's 11 or something like that.
I wouldn't call Ocean's a mafia.
Oh, it wouldn't be a mafia movie. I'm sorry.
It's a heist movie. It's a heist movie.
I think they're kind of like they coexist.
Yeah, it is 100% a heist.
I feel like they coexist with each other. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Ocean's 11, this movie is kind of like sort of the same. Like, sort of has like a lot of the same beats. I might be crazy. I know I am, but like, is there something there?
I agree with you to a point. I think this would be if you made Ocean's 11 R-rated.
Right.
If you put slap on a rated R, added a couple more fucks, and someone brutally getting their ear sliced off to Stuck in the Middle with You, then
in the middle with you.
Oh, dude, I can't listen to that song without thinking about that scene. That's why it's a Royal with cheese.
In the middle with you. And
okay, Chris, where would you rank this?
Awfulness that's happening on camera. Like That's awesome. I love that scene so much. I loved it before I saw the actual movie when I saw it as a clip, but in context, then I was like, oh, yes, this is. I loved it. I really did. It's not Royale with cheese, but I loved it. I'm done.
All right. Okay. So let's see here.
Hey,
What
lovely
do I
Sherry.
say about Reservoir Dogs?
Hello, Sherry.
Hello, Sherry.
Good to
Now
see you.
ask her why she's here, and you'll understand why I asked for the thing. Because
Hello,
I
Aaron.
post
don't think
these
said hi to
things, and I
Aaron.
let people know that we're going live, and I let them know these things.
You know, I posted it too.
That's right.
Okay, what are your thoughts on the movie?
Hey, Sherry.
though?
Okay, so here's the deal. I hadn't watched this probably for about 10 years, and it was on a month or so ago. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it. Call it right at the beginning because this is a movie I don't like to watch like part of the way through because the whole movie is the experience. And I had forgotten how much this movie is something that you could do as a stage play. You could do this on stage
Good. That's a good point.
because it is mostly a one room act. All the other stuff that goes on that they don't do in
That's
that
gonna go
warehouse.
into play later. That's my opinion of something later. Oh my goodness, this
So
is great.
all the things that you show in this movie that aren't in that warehouse in the stage play could be acted in the one spot and talked about rather than shown. You could have one character look at another character and go like, well, tell me what happened, or what did you think happened? Well, how'd you get involved in this? And you could act out all of that stuff by somebody basically just saying what happened in the scenes that they show that are outside this warehouse. So this is literally like a one room, one location stage play. I love it. It's short of a perfect monologue. This is a monologue with many different people. A person could go on stage and do a monologue of all of these things in different characters. And I've seen it. I've done monologues like that before. This movie is a masterclass in how to do a movie. Now, here's the fact of this. We all know how Quentin Tarantino got his start. It wasn't about talking about Bruce Willis and Die Hard. He would go out and he would name a movie that Bruce Willis knew only 5 people in the world had ever seen because he loved the movies that these other actors did when they would come into the video shop that he worked at. And he knew these off-kilter, off Hollywood movies that they were in. He knows what makes a movie. This is 100% a Royale with cheese.
Well, that's awesome. And so technically, because of that ranking, it goes in Royale with cheese. 5.5. 5 for me, 5 for PB. Zod, Royale with cheese, and you, Chris, Royale with cheese, 5.5. Technically, the bottom of Royale with cheese, and
Yep.
I'm not mad about that. It's not what I would have done, but I'm not mad about it.
We know this is what you would have done. That's
And
why the bigger men on the panel, Zod and myself, had to do it.
and I agree. Like
bigger men. What do you mean, physically or like? Oh, that was so bad. That was so mean.
Well, physically, probably, but I'm not going to ask you to show that part of you, so don't even start.
Because I totally will. If you want me, we can start this. Let's do it. We can make this.
My thirst trap like a year ago when I was 260 pounds, and I'm like, yeah, baby, look at me, Patrick Swayze style.
Oh, we've got somebody who's enjoying these. Riz, what's up?
What's up, Riz? You were having a great time last week.
Yes, you will. Yes.
So, glad we can entertain. Buckle up. I have a feeling this is going to be a love fest. And PB gets the distinct honor of doing.
Also, like everyone in the chat, feel free to throw in your voice when it comes to this, because the next couple of weeks we might try something out to where, like, the audience, mathematically speaking, like we might have like a poll
Mm-hmm.
where like guys can vote too. So
Yes.
if you're interested in that, let us know, and then we'll incorporate that into the streams. So and this is always like a work in progress. This is what's fun about YouTube. We're always trying to like do other things to kind of like help engaging you guys, because at the end of the day, we're here because you guys enjoy the content and it's fun. It's fun for us, and we can
Oh,
do
yeah.
this by ourselves with nobody else around it. It would be great.
Speaking
But
of
with you
which,
guys added onto it, it makes it so much more fun.
speaking of which, Justin, you know what else is fun?
Whoa,
I have a feeling. I have a feeling this is
You know what else is fun? What
is a
else is
drop.
fun? Is when I'm watching Reservoir Dogs and I look in my corner and I go, you know what? I need a thing
Movie
stuck in the
palette?
middle of my
I
Nick
think
Cage
you
pinup
need.
and my Nick Cage movie palette. And I think, you know what would make a great place to go to? Moviepalette.com and check out what it looks like to see Reservoir Dogs in that beautiful, luscious board of just different colors. So with moviepalette.com, you can go there and enter the promo code Zone15 and save yourself 15% off. So if you're a big Quentin Tarantino fan like me or the people on this panel, go check out moviepalette.com, put in the promo code, links in the description, and go support your favorite villain by grabbing yourself a luscious, fantastic movie palette of one of Quentin Tarantino's films. And thank you, moviepalette.com, for sponsoring this stream.
Really quick, there, Zod.
Hi,
How
Thomas. How
long
you
is
doing?
Movie Palette?
What's up, Thomas?
How long have you had the Movie Palette sponsorship?
Oh, geez, it's what, maybe last
don't know.
end of
I
last
think
year.
you got yours. See, I got mine in 2021, and here's the thing: I have yet to actually use it, but they saw me on the stream, so they are watching you. Just so you know, because they emailed me back. They emailed me back after like 3 years, and they said, "Hey, we were in the middle of this discussion about getting you, about sponsoring you. Are you still interested?" And I'm like, "Sure." Because I was like, wait a minute, what? And I go back through my history of my YouTube email is like thousands of emails, and I found it. I'm like, oh damn.
And
Whoops.
Aaron Cooper says they do have it, and she said, "What about
Yeah.
black and white?" You probably have
Yeah.
to look up a black and white movie. I haven't tried. I just know any movie I've ever put
I'm
in
pretty
there.
sure.
I mean,
And
The
if
Wizard of
they
Oz
don't, you could probably
would
ask
be a
them. They
good
would do
one
it.
because it starts off black and white and then it becomes colorful. That would be a movie
Sure.
palette that I would
Ooh,
actually
dude, can you imagine what it would look like going across? That might be interesting. The Gilk Man coming.
What's up, Gilk man?
Hey,
Thomas. How are you
Hey,
doing,
what's up?
Thomas?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing very well. I have not talked to you for a long time, and I would apologize for that because
That's okay.
you, sir, are a great person, and we all enjoy having you around, and we thank you for coming up here. This is excellent that you're here. I appreciate you coming up.
You're welcome. I won't be able to be here for a long time, so
That's fine, but let's do one. Let's do the next movie and let Thomas
Pulp
take
Fiction.
it first. Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
Thomas, you've seen
100%.
Pulp Fiction,
I
haven't you?
100% agree.
This is a good one to do.
Oh yeah.
Thomas, what do you think about Pulp Fiction? How would you rate it on the categories that we have? And to audibly remind you what the categories are.
yeah.
Royale with cheese, that's like the GOAT. Master 8, which is like S tier. Sword fights, which is like A tier. Kurt Russell driving a car, which is B tier. Honorable trash, which is like, D. We skipped a tier. I simply reject your hypotheses, which is F tier, like trash.
Royale with cheese, easily.
So tell us why you like that movie.
Yeah, why? Why is it
It's-
Royale with cheese?
I will tell you if you let me speak. God damn it, Justin. God damn it. It's Royale with cheese. Justin, shut up. Let me speak. God damn, you're more annoying. You're more annoying on stream than you are on the phone call.
I love you, Thomas.
Just
Go ahead, Thomas. Just
Shut
tell him
up.
to shut the fuck up.
Okay, Justin, shut the fuck up. Okay, Royale with cheese because I love it because it's the best of Quentin Tarantino. I think Samuel L. Jackson, John Travolta, Uma Thurman. The cast is amazing. I think Christopher Walken is in it.
You're welcome.
Yes,
It's the best. It's one of the. I don't know if it's the best of his films, but it's definitely in that tier because it's graphic. It has some good lines, and it's everything that you want in a R-rated film.
Very good.
Yeah,
And it's not long.
100% agree with everything you said.
I can't argue with any of that. Royale with cheese.
But if you tried to argue, he'd tell you to shut the fuck up. Just so you
Hey
know.
Chris, shut the fuck up.
I know. I'm not arguing against that because obviously this is going to be goated unless PB has something stupid to say.
Oh.
So like Pulp Fiction. It's one of those movies that when you get to the end of it, you put it on again. It has infinite rewatchability. It quite obviously is the Royale of cheese.
Okay, wait. Time out. Everybody, slow clap. Start.
Yes.
Yes, very good.
Okay, why do we
easily,
waste our time with that bullshit? Why do we do that?
I don't know because it's
Why
fun.
not?
Like that's what this movie is all the way through, the entire way. There's not a scene in this movie that is not entertaining from start to finish. You're never bored, even when it's slow. Let's call it. You're still like, wait, what the hell is behind that door?
Yeah.
What's
there
in
are
the
all
briefcase?
those little things.
So I
And
like
the
that.
dialogue. This is where the dialogue really kicks in, and it makes you engaged in what they're doing, even though it has nothing to do with what they're doing. Their dialogue is so engaging that you're on board with the characters the entire time. So that's where I'm like, this is great. This is unlike any, boring dialogue exposition sort of thing. Like they don't do that whole thing. Instead, Tarantino just like they're having a normal conversation, like this is their day job, and that establishes character development as is. Like these are hardcore guys, and they're talking about a quarter pounder with cheese in the car, like, and that's the most engaging part of the movie. And I would not be interested in that, but it's a fascinating conversation. And then it comes back, and I love it. It's great, and I wish more movies were like that weren't exposition heavy, that weren't like beating your head over with a fucking hammer, per se, with all this information that is honestly delivered so terribly, like in a boring way. They do this. Tarantino does it in a way where it's acceptable in terms of like it's not acceptable. Like that's not the right word, although it is. It's accessible. Like the core audience is going to be bored normally during these scenes, but in this movie they're entertained. Even my parents like bought the VHS, and VHSs were expensive back then. So like them doing that and getting Silence of the Lambs, just those are the only two like adult movies that they bought. Like because they were like, these movies are great.
They are perfect like brethren in a weird way.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because they both have excellent writing, engaging. Even the dialogue of that is so much more interesting than when you get to what the actual mystery is. Although Buffalo Bill still remains one of the creepiest fucking serial killers ever, and I'll die on that hill. But for
It
me,
made me love a song
everything.
that nobody else in the world would love.
1994 was a great year for movies.
Yes.
Loved everything about it. Honorable trash. No, that's just fucking with you.
All right. Wait. So who? Okay. So PB and Thomas Royale with cheese. Justin Royale with cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Zod. Did you already go?
No. Without a doubt, Royal with cheese.
Is it a clean sweep?
Hold on here. Let
me
Zod talk.
Royal with cheese for me. This movie was the first movie I actually saw before Reservoir Dogs, and made me go back to Reservoir Dogs. Which weirdly, I like Reservoir Dogs slightly more than this one
Really?
because of the, like Chris said, the stage acting of it. But this one is more of refined, putting the more action and hilarious hijinks into his films that you'd see, like funny.
Like you shot Marvin in the face.
Like it's not. The scenes are so violent; they shouldn't be funny. But he does the dialogue in such a way that you're laughing, and then you kind of feel like, whoa, I'm laughing at something totally fucking sick right now that I shouldn't be laughing at, like two guys being in a dungeon with his head and the fucking gimp. And it's these weird situations.
Like a bitch?
Are we all right? We're pretty fucking far from all right.
All right.
No. I mean,
right?
like you and me. Right now, there is no you or me. I did. No, dude, some of the lines in this movie. It's like,
yeah, it's just like, hey, we
whose
may
bike
have
is this?
had some beef, but this is fucked up beyond belief, and you're good in my book in comparison to these fuckers who are about to have their asses handed to them.
Whose bike is this? This ain't a bike, honey. This is a hog, or whatever he says. And
yes.
Like, well, whose is it? It's Zed. Well, where's Zed? Zed's dead, baby. All the lines in this movie.
It's like
to Thomas's
father
point,
had to this uncomfortable hunk of metal stuck in his ass.
To Thomas's point, the best monologue in any Quentin Tarantino movie is Christopher Walken. He's
explaining a watch.
Just talking about a watch, hiding it up his ass. That's great.
Hey, Chris.
Daddy. Yes, sir.
You're wrong. I love Walken. I do. But the best monologue is Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta driving in the car, talking about was it In-N-Out Burger?
Okay.
Yeah.
McDonald's in UK because they don't have the metric system. Or
they were comparing it to In-N-Out Burger and then Hawaii.
That's true. Yeah.
Big Kahuna
Burger, which is his own brand, which shows up in all the that and Red Apple cigarettes show up in all the movies. I mean, he has his own universe. Everything.
That's a connected
beautiful.
Universe.
Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry, Zod. Go ahead.
It was Thomas.
Well, he was finished. He didn't interrupt me. Sorry, no, you didn't interrupt me. He was telling me that his monologue and the best monologue is the one with Samuel L. Jackson and.
And he's correct.
Okay, fine. Yes.
But for me, what can I say? Royal with cheese. Everybody who knows who's seen this movie.
Can we end this right now?
Well, I get. What about my turn? What about my turn? I don't.
Already.
No, I didn't. I didn't go already.
No, he didn't rate it. He just.
Okay. If you put it less than Royal with cheese, I'm gonna.
So, I'm going to akin this to Jurassic Park.
No!
Oh God!
No!
Here's the thing.
Wait,
listen. I'm gonna go through some stuff here. One, so in Reservoir Dogs, it's a beautiful mostly one room setup. In this movie, Quentin Tarantino wanted to take it another step, and he wanted to say, I want to show multiple couples. So there's Jackson and Travolta. There's Travolta and
Uma
uh
Thurman.
Uma Thurman, thank you. Then there's the Bunny and or Honey Bunny and oh yeah, whatever. So there's
Tim
multiple.
Roth, basically.
Yeah. There's multiple couples, and that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to do couples, like two people acting together. So even if there's more people around, it's still about these two people. And I honestly think.
What are you saying?
I honestly think he one-upped himself from Reservoir Dogs. So actually, while I love Jurassic Park and I put it in honorable trash, I love Pulp Fiction and I put it in Royale with cheese.
Oh, thank God.
Sweet.
That's called subverting your expectations.
Yep.
From the
Brian
Johnson School,
wait. Yes, exactly. And oh, by the way, Mr. M. Night Shyamalan, that's called a real plot twist right there. Okay, so just know how I set that one up there. Thomas.
Yes.
So we'd love to have you up here for more of these. I know Justin and I would. I know Zod and PB would. So tonight you have to leave pretty early or quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will discuss with you about having you up, ask you what type, like which tier list we have you'd most like to come up on. But Justin and I had talked today about having special guests, and we would love to have you on. I know that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna say for sure. DM me or whatever.
Yeah, we will for sure.
And
He's a busy man.
yeah,
He is.
exactly. Very.
I hope
Yeah.
all is going well with you, Thomas. I actually will try to give you a call tomorrow. I'm off.
That's what
Are
they
you
always
available?
say.
Don't you say that. I will call you tomorrow now. I'm going to call you tomorrow. You give me a time right now.
10 p.m. my time.
Okay. 9 p.m. tomorrow.
Or a little after.
Because
I'm
as
open
Zod
time.
knows, Zod knows that the only time that it really matters is Central Time. Everything is central to us. So that's 9 p.m. That's 9 p.m. my time.
Chris.
Yes,
Fuck
sir.
Central Time. Eastern Standard Time is the best time.
Yes, thank you.
No.
Justin, shut up.
Everything is central to us.
Supporting you, and you're telling me to shut up. Like, let's.
Because he doesn't need your support, sir.
Chris.
And by the way, yes, just to echo what Chris said, Thomas, you're always invited on the channel. Just let me know. I'll shoot out a link. But thank you very much for coming on. I do appreciate having you come and do a ranking with us.
No problem. Thank you for having me, and I am gonna get out of here.
Have a good night, Thomas. Be safe.
You
okay?
too. All right. Thank you.
Have a good one.
night.
Go fuck
Thank
yourself.
Go fuck yourself, Justin. and your multiple accounts.
Yeah.
Oh, good way to go out. He hit you
That's a
and
good
the
one.
multiple accounts.
accounts going into my asshole. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Speaking of going into the asshole, let's get to the next one.
Jackie Brown.
That's you,
Oh,
Justin.
We'll see when we get to it. Let's just, who's doing this next?
Not I. I've
okay,
never seen it.
Okay. Well,
is it me?
Who
started?
I started. We went to
we let Thomas take. Yeah, we let Thomas take the last one first. Okay, so yeah, okay, go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, because it's getting.
Oh, by the way,
Justin,
wait, time out, really quick. I just want to let you know, on behalf of Thomas, shut the fuck up. Okay, now, Justin. You still have very good. You know what? He just made a really good point right there. Did you hear what he said? He said,
right. Yeah.
And that's very important that we remember that.
It's very important. You need to remember this later.
So when we ask later, in reference to this, you go. Okay.
Well, I put this in sword fights. It's not as great. It's kind of like sandwiched in between like the two GOAT films that Tarantino has, like Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction. I understand that. And also, you threw Chris Tucker into a trunk of a car and killed him. And after many nights of my little brother, for some reason, having this DVD on like just on the main menu or like just in repeat watchings, every time I went to the bathroom, I hear from his room, "You hear the words coming out of my mouth?" And I'm like,
Do you hear the words coming out of my mouth?
yeah. And I'm like, shut up. I'm like, shut up, this movie. And so I was happy for that. So I put it in sword fights. I don't know. It was fine. I liked it. It was decent, but it's not his best. Sword fights.
Okay.
They killed off Chris Tucker. Which is funny.
Okay, so
Great
am I
scene.
going next or is Chris?
Yeah. Chris,
I'll go
yes.
next. I put this in.
Go, Chris.
Okay, so scroll down really quick.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, here I just had to make it larger. Okay, never mind. Go back up. Go back up.
Okay.
And back down. Back up. And back down. And now we're tangoing. Anyways.
Oh.
Anyways, Jackie Brown. I will say
Oh, he's gonna say
that
stuff.
this is not his best movie, but while it is close to Master 8, I will put it up in Royale with Cheese because I still love the commentary, the way that the scenes move from one to the next, and I love that this is almost kind of like the precursor to Kill Bill. I see things in this that he's trying out that move on to Kill Bill.
Oh boy, I'm just gonna shock everybody with mine. So I'm gonna put
Wait,
this
What
in.
did Chris give it?
I actually put it in Royale with Cheese because I looked backwards
Oh,
on
I
it
know.
after Kill Bill. And I'm like, ooh,
I
okay,
put
so
it
he's
in
trying
sword
this out.
fights. You know, you put it in Master 8.
No, I said I was going to put it in Master 8,
But then you
except
put it in
for,
Royale with Cheese.
but it's on the very low end of that.
Okay.
Okay, go, Villain.
I honestly reject all of your guys' hypothesis. I cannot
What?
stand this movie in the least. I think that there's my biggest problem
He
with this film.
lied. He lied. Go figure. The villain
Uh,
the shitty villain at that. He lied.
What? I'm a villain. Anyways, no.
As I said,
I'm joking with going that low. I'm joking
shitty
with going that low. It's honorable trash for me. For me, this film, my biggest problem with this movie,
is that you're racist.
the
We got it.
single biggest problem is that you go from Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction to this film, and the chemistry within the dialogues, it doesn't feel like the actors have great chemistry that are put together in this film. Chris Tucker feels very out of place in this movie. I love, like, you could see the start of where he would go later with like Dead Presidents, and he was in that kind of era, and then he jumped to like movies like Money Talks and Rush Hour. So you can kind of see that beginning, but for me, I found it more boring because I wasn't engaged in the dialogue and it didn't hook me, which then is kind of a snowball effect to where I'm not feeling any other parts of this film. I think if the movie loses you in the components that he's known for doing, then it is a bust. And for me, I found this really hard, especially leading up to this. I did a rewatch because I hadn't watched Jackie Brown in a while, and I was like, wow, this might actually be a Quentin Tarantino film. I don't hate because I don't think he makes bad movies, but I think if you're comparing it to every other movie on this list, like every other movie where we can pick out little
really quick. Let me
flaws,
interrupt you
this
there.
movie has the biggest flaws.
I understand that, but I want you to look at this at the composition of this movie moves forward his progression into things like Kill Bill, Hateful Eight. Oh shoot, what's the one? The Nazi one.
Inglorious
Inglourious
Bastards.
Yeah, Inglourious Bastards.
The Nazi one.
His conglomeration of actors in this movie and the way that he designed this movie led to his ability to go to those other movies. So I look at this as, let's try some stuff out here.
No,
And
I
then
respect. I
and then
respect both.
he learned from this movie.
I
That's-
respect both of your guys' opinions, but what I'm saying is just because you have the beginnings of a style that you could see in other movies doesn't make the movie it was introduced in any good. Because of the mere fact that you're experimenting. Some people can throw in a new style and make it work. Then some people, you could see where the style they're trying to implement in this one particular film doesn't work. And for me, I don't know if anyone else got this feeling, but I felt like even though you had like Michael Keaton, you had Chris Tucker, you had Pam Grier, you had all of these like A-list legendary fucking
And what did
right
you do
here.
with them?
But it doesn't feel like when you get them together, Chris, you said it yourself, conversations are important in a Tarantino film. I didn't feel any connections when they're sitting talking. So if I don't feel the chemistry, and that's what most of his movies do hinge on, is having that chemistry between actors. And if you notice, some of these actors don't return in his other movies. And I feel like it's because the chemistry on screen is very lacking. There's no things that endears me to any of these characters to make me care. So therefore, I don't care about the plot, which just makes it boring. And I'm just kind of going through the motions of going, okay. Now, don't get me wrong. The story and the concept and the casting is great, but the execution and the interjection of the newer styles don't work in this film. And yes,
wait.
it 100% worked in Kill Bill. 100% works in
Yes.
Inglourious Bastards.
There's
but
why
here it doesn't work.
That's why this movie is brilliant. This is film 101 for Quentin Tarantino, because Quentin Tarantino will tell you he never went to film school. He learned by watching other people's films, and he learned from filmology, and he learned and taught himself. He understood the makings of it. What? Go ahead, Justin.
No,
Interject.
you said filmology, which was
Yes.
funny.
Well, I know, but here's the thing.
But you're right. You're right. You could learn as much as you can from film school, and I
He
went to film
taught
school,
himself.
and it was fine. But he did teach himself to do these things, which is sort of like an anti-film school sort of
Exactly.
method. Like
Jackie Brown is the stepping stone, and for that very reason. And yes, you are right, Zod. You are bringing up good points. It is not the best. It is not like it is not. There are flaws in it, but those flaws were. I want to say here's what I really want to say. I believe Quentin Tarantino purposely pushed himself in this movie and wanted to find his flaws and his execution of stuff that led to movies like Kill Bill, Kill Bill 2, Inglourious Bastards.
By the way, Kill Bill,
8,
can we agree? We agree, just for future reference. Kill Bill is one movie.
We can talk about that.
We can talk about that later.
That's fine. Okay, but anyways,
it's one.
To your point, though. To your point, those flaws are in Jackie Brown, but those flaws
are there.
Are masterful. They're masterful.
And it shows a way that that you don't understand. Like, if you are not a film student yourself, you won't understand the struggle.
Okay, I can't believe I'm saying this though, but I'm being completely unbiased in this situation. Like, yes, if you take this to any other filmmaker who would have screwed up, they probably would have did it colossally. It wouldn't have failed. Jackie Brown is not a failure on any measure. It made a good gross. There's
you put it in trash.
No,
you put it in honorable trash.
Time out. Wait. Zod, let me say one thing here. What he's about ready to say and why he's putting in honorable trash, I will respect out of the simple fact that it's the exact same reason why I put Jurassic Park in honorable trash.
No,
Thank
that's
you.
not the same reason.
But no, I can't see the movie titles. Is Four Rooms considered on the list? I don't think so because it wasn't directed by
not.
him.
It's just what he's directed.
Yeah, not what he's written or anything like that. No.
No, although
the movie
I do get
titles are
like we don't have From Dusk Till Dawn because even though he starred in it and he helped write it, Robert
did not
Rodriguez
direct it.
directed.
You know how much he made for that movie to write it?
I have no clue.
That was the first movie he wrote that he actually got paid for, and he tells people, "I got paid $1,000." You got paid $1,000 to write.
Well, back in the day, that's a
no. Back then, that still wasn't much.
It's a hell of a lot better than that. But anyways, my point being, the reason why I put it in honorable trash is because I agree with everything that the panelist says. I can understand if you or the viewers put this higher, but for me personally, just think about it. You go from Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, and keep in mind, I don't have the nostalgia. I didn't see Jackie Brown when it was released. I seen every other movie except for the first three we talked about in theaters. But that one I didn't, so I don't have a nostalgic tie, and I saw it later. So I was about Kill Bill Volume 2 when I went back and I saw Jackie Brown. And so when you go from all of these films and jump back to that, I could pick out the flaws a lot easier in that film. And there's a lot of big flaws. And I'm sorry, just because you're trying a new technique or you're experimenting, that doesn't give you a pass on really
in his
glaring
case, yes, it does.
We'll keep that in mind.
Because he's so good. Because he's so good, I think it's important to really scrutinize when somebody fucks up, because it keeps a good balance as far as where you're ranking things. And for me, I'll admit I'm a complete Quentin Tarantino whore, but this one particular movie is where I consider a misstep in his
Justin,
filmography.
make sure you go back and cut the scene where he says he's a whore.
Yeah, I will.
I am a total.
Also, you'll
Chris,
have to,
I'm a total whore.
By the way, you actually put it in the lowest tier. It gets to a 3.666.
What the fuck are you talking about, guy? Where are you coming up with these numbers?
Yeah, that's not
based on based on
the fact that it's a 6-4 and a 2.
I put it in sword fights. Your vote doesn't count because you haven't seen it. And then Royale with Cheese
Zoom
is
the
where
fuck
Chris
out.
put it.
God damn it.
So 6-4, and then
2.
I simply reject your hypotheses, which is what Zod put it in. Is that correct? Or honorable?
No, I was joking with that. I meant that as when you guys were talking. No, it's an honorable trash for me. It's the lowest. It's the one movie I've only ever watched twice.
It's a flat 4.
Well, he's racist, and you haven't gone yet, PB.
I'd never seen it.
No, he said he didn't see
it.
You did?
Okay, so all right.
I already did all the math.
Well, good. I did it too.
Yeah, it's a
puts
flat
it up
4.
above honorable trash, which is what?
It's a flat 4.
It's a flat 3.
It's a flat
4. No, it's a flat 4, which makes it go
6.
into.
Wait, time out. I did 6 plus 4 plus 2 equals 12 divided by 3. Okay, it's flat 4.
Fuck, man.
You are bad at math, Chris.
I'm not bad. It's just it's that I divided it by 4 because I thought PB
the first time.
Because PB and Zod are both racist. Because
I did it by the math of, because I thought Zod was actually saying I simply reject your hypotheses. So I'm like shocked. Cool. So that's what I did it based on that math. However, now that we've clarified that he was joking, honorable trash. All right, it goes into sword fights. That's actually pretty fair.
I'm okay with that.
All right, Kill Bill. We're not doing. I'm going to clarify this. I'm going to clarify this right now. We are not doing Kill Bill Volume 1 and
doing
Volume 2.
2 for
We
1.
are doing Kill Bill as one movie because
2 for
I
1.
did, no, I
How do
gotta
you agree
take
to that?
PB.
How do you,
I gotta
no.
take PB's side. Nope, I don't agree.
release
They-
date? Release
I've
date.
seen-
Tell me the release date. What happened when you got to the end of Kill Bill Volume 1?
that
when it
was,
released.
to be fair though, that
Did
was
you
mandated by
watch
the
Volume
studio.
2 immediately? No.
It was mandated by the studio though, because they wanted to cash in on
I
it
don't
more.
give
They-
a fuck what it's mandated by.
It's
go by
literally
what
studio
has
it's
been
supposed to
interference.
be
on
one
screen.
movie, but it's split into 2 parts. It's
But
before,
okay, this is weird
innovative
because
in
I
that
agree
way.
with both. Hold on, I
I
agree with
don't
both.
think. I honestly
Justin,
don't think that.
Justin, shut the fuck up a second. I'm about to agree with you.
Okay,
Hold on.
fine, but you better have a
Hold-
damn good reason for shutting me
Hold
the fuck
on.
up.
I agree with Justin with the history, but I also agree with PB that it should be rated as a separate movie because technically it did come out as a separate film. We should be accurate and concise, and we rank these on the fact that they are individual movies. And I'm sorry, even though I would want it to be ranked as one film, because truly it is, I agree with PB. They have different release dates.
What?
They have different.
Wait.
I had to
Fuck
wait
the
fucking
fantasy land
a
you
year
live
and a
in.
half to see this. So I agree. This was, whether it's his fault or not, this was broken up by the studio, and we got to rank it accordingly as
What's up,
2
Deborah?
separate movies.
I hate you right now.
Yeah, I'm
Because
sorry.
you just
It's
made
the
my
way.
job so much, like, it's so much harder just by that. I'm putting them both. I'm gonna make this easier for ourselves and for the rankings. I know I'm going at a turn, but both of them are master 8. I'm gonna check out because you guys are gonna argue about which film is better, which one is royal with cheese, which one is master 8, and I'm not. Yeah, no.
No.
Nope.
Wait, no, you only go for 1 right now.
Okay. First of all, let me welcome Deborah Cohen. Hello. I
What's
know
up?
we do talk over each other, but that's part of the joy of hearing us be passionate about these movies. We're ranking Quentin Tarantino, and thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, thank you. So I was supposed to start. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, no.
Kill Bill,
So,
Volume 1.
so PB, Zod, we're doing this as 2 separate movies or 1.
2 separate movies.
Movies.
I don't agree.
I'll do it however the hell you want. I don't really care because I kind of agree with Justin on this that it really honestly is one movie. No matter what you want to say, it's a volume 1, volume 2. That's fine. So was the Deathly Hallows, but the Deathly Hallows was 1 book. So
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest with it. Doesn't matter
Still
what.
2 movies.
It doesn't matter because listen, he shot them all at one time, and that's it. They decided to split it up, whatever. But let's go with volume 1. Kill Bill is my ultimate most favorite Quentin Tarantino movie because of the exact same reason why he made it. I was a big fan, and Zod, don't lie, because I know you were too, of things like The Legend of Kung Fu and fucking Kung Fu movies, Bruce Lee movies. Oh my fucking God. This movie, when I saw the beginning, just the beginning, the ding, 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 or however, I can't remember the exact music that he did, but the way that Warner Brothers the Warner Brothers thing came in,
The logo,
yes, everything on that. I was like, holy shit! I was like, right then, I was sold. I was fucking sold. It was masterful. Listen, I could have died and only seen the first 3 seconds of this movie is Royale with cheese. End of story. Just for the way he did the very first 5 fucking seconds. And then I watched the rest of the movie and I was like, holy fucking shit, because he brought in things that have been in many, many kung fu and martial arts movies, and he incorporated them into an original story just to tie them in to shit that was 20 years earlier.
It's a passion project.
It was
out so well.
but because of that, this is the most masterful thing he has ever done. Kill Bill is a Royale with cheese with extra fucking cheese. How about that, motherfuckers?
It's a Royale with cheese plus. I get it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is why Justin has it tear down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was reiterating what he was saying, and I understand that, but I put it in Master 8 for one reason.
You're nuts. We know.
I put it because Pulp Fiction for
Yeah,
me.
no,
is
I know,
the
I know. You are a Sammy Hagar fan with Van Halen, which is Van Hagar, not Van Halen. We know this. This is why you are putting it there. We know. Because you're flawed.
Well,
You're
actually,
a flawed human being.
in
We know
this
this.
scenario, it was more like I'm presenting myself as the David Lee Roth fan because this came first. So that makes no sense. I don't even know why you brought it up. It's
That
stupid.
is highly illogical.
I simply reject your hypothesis.
I put it in Master 8 because it's a great film. I almost put it in Royale with cheese, but it's not Pulp Fiction. I think it's as good as you're going to get with Quentin Tarantino.
Holy cow! So we're gonna go to a sensible answer. Of course, this is a Royale with cheese. Everything, even if you break these up into two films, then judging on that, you'll see my next ranking. But for this one, this is definitely Royale with cheese because they mix. Dude, this is like Perp Stream taking anime and putting it into live action, but still anime. Like mixing anime. This soundtrack was on
That's
repeat.
what I wanted Chris to say,
in my
so I changed my mind.
this is
Oh, now you changed your mind?
But only with the second part.
Okay.
I'm kidding. No, I'm sticking with Master 8. I don't care.
Okay. So, anyways, that stupidness aside,
no.
for me,
I'll put it in Royale with cheese, because you actually did convince me. Like all things considered, yeah, these are great.
Okay, so can I please finish? Anyway,
I love it. You know what? You're
right. Jesus Christ!
When you're right, you're right.
Fiction,
I love the anime mix. I love the soundtrack. Is at this point iconic. Everybody has ripped off every one of these fucking songs. In fucking car commercials ripped this soundtrack off.
Yes.
I love, as somebody who is in the martial arts, the choreography, and I went down a deep dark rabbit hole with this film. I saw all the behind the scenes, the cast and crew, the wire work, what he was doing with it, all of this, and the fact that he hits that like early kung fu era where the dialogue was bad. You could see people on wires, and he intentionally shot it that way so you get the feel of watching an old kung fu flick. There's so much love and passion in this film, and Uma Thurman. Okay, call me crazy. I think she's fucking gorgeous, and keep on doing those feet shots, Quentin.
What are you
like? Like I love, and here's the thing: Uma Thurman in this time period, they were trying to turn her into something she's not, which is a sex symbol. But this really showed to me her acting, and after this, I feel like after this film, she got a lot of other like probably movies people haven't watched, but where you can see she has massively good range, and this movie showed the range that she had. I'd say more than even Pulp Fiction.
I'm going to go back, though, a few tiers ago. I'm going to put in the fact that Twisted Nerve, when Daryl Hannah comes and they're whistling the Twisted Nerve theme. Alfred Hitchcock, the tie-in to even Alfred Hitchcock in this whole movie. The things he does between what he's showing and then saying, wait, I'm going to school you on some knowledge here because I'm going to use something that's not even kung fu, but I'm going to use something that works so perfectly in this movie because I love Alfred Hitchcock and I know more than you about movies. I'm going to put this in here because Twisted Nerve, for people who don't know this, was a great Alfred Hitchcock movie, but many people have never seen it.
and it's crazy that he threw all of these elements in, and they all seem to work. So for me, it's Royale with cheese. This is like,
But
this
that's
is
all because
Quentin,
of
and
Jackie
Quentin
Brown.
would stay on this role, at least in my mind. For me, this is like everything firing on all cylinders. He's got his style. You know what to expect. I saw this when it was in the theater, like as many times that I've gone to see The Dark Knight. And spoiler alert, I've seen The fucking Dark Knight a lot of times in theater. This was before I
lucky
worked
you,
there.
I had to watch Hancock, not Hitchcock, Hancock twice before I got to see The
This
Dark
movie
Knight.
I
was
saw.
so pissed about that.
This
But-
movie I saw
but
multiple
I
times.
will tell you this: like when I was reading the newspaper, back in 2004, I was like learning like how to read. I don't know. But I saw Kill Bill and I was like, Kill Bill Volume 2. I was like, why is there a Volume 2? I thought that was for VHS releases. I was confused. But then, yeah, but it always stuck in my mind. Kill Bill. I'm like, and my uncle, his name is Bill. And I'm like, why would they want to kill you? Yeah, like I asked him that question and he said, like, no, Justin, no one's after me in the newspaper. It's not a hit on me. He's like, no, this is by a director, Quentin Tarantino, who does a lot of great movies, but it's not something that you should watch for another 10 years. And eight again. I was like 7 or 8 when this came out, so I like knew that this existed. And again, I don't want you to feel old, Chris. Just before you even say anything, it's not because I want you to feel old. I'm saying this because it is distinct in my memory and how my uncle said to me, like, you should not watch this until you're older, even though it's fascinating to you now. It does, like, make you want to be like, what is this? So having a movie called Volume 2 or something like that, or Volume 1, like you're so confident that it's going to get a sequel. Like that's like how I viewed Episode 1 of Star Wars. I was like, wow, they're so confident, in their filmmaking. They obviously know there's going to be a sequel. And I was like, what the hell? What is this? Why would they call it Episode 1? But then I didn't realize that there were more movies before. But this was different because they started off the bat. And he's like, no, watch it when you get older. You'll understand.
Okay, so
who said that to
PB,
you?
would you like to read this comment quick before anyone goes? Go ahead.
Reservoir Dogs, good music on that one. Agreed, Deborah. Agreed.
Yep.
Well, and she said up there
with you.
She said up there above that, yeah, he always does good with music. That is absolutely true. He masterfully integrates music into his movies. And Justin, I missed the first part of that where you're saying, who told you to watch it 10 years after?
Who told me to watch it 10 years after? My uncle.
No, his uncle. So,
okay.
my uncle.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
my uncle, whose name is Bill.
Awesome.
So
you were telling me the story.
They had a hit piece on him, or for some reason, and then it turned out not to be. So.
Let's now go to PB. PB, where would you rank this?
Well, so the name of the film is
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill.
Oh, what happens in the movie?
Well,
I can tell you what doesn't fucking happen in the movie. They don't fucking kill Bill.
But the idea is that she wants to.
You know what? I don't talk about fucking ideas. I don't give a fuck about your goddamn ideas.
Zod, at this point right now, this is where on my Chaos Central channel, we would go and do what we call a phantom zone. We would cut him out right now and tell him to go the fuck backstage and say, fuck you.
It's all about sword fights.
It's all about you. You, sir, I reject your hypothesis right
You
now.
know, you reject whatever you want. I don't
I
change
will
the
reject
math.
you and your Green Bay cheese eating, loving motherfucking.
Oh, I ate a bunch of
union.
cheese earlier. I cut up half a pound of Colby into some
I
nice thin
love no.
slices, and I
Colby's
dipped
bullshit.
it into the
Sharp cheddar,
marinara.
motherfucker. If you're gonna live up in Wisconsin, fucking eat sharp cheddar, motherfucker.
I do eat sharp cheddar a lot, but the
No, you
box was
don't.
just
You
sitting there,
don't even
and I had
lie.
a.
Don't even lie. Don't
Dude,
even.
do you know who you're
don't.
talking to? He eats
Oh my
every
God.
cheese. Like I can verify this
He is
in
cheese.
person. Like he
His opinions
literally.
are cheese.
There's not a cheese. I like if you were doing a Dune movie with us, he would be like the messiah of cheese.
He'd
He'd be
be
like,
the fucking
talk to,
worm.
talk to PB. He'd have a hood on. He's been like, I've been in the deserts of Arrakis and I've seen the greatest of cheeses, and I can tell you right now, I like them all. Like, he would be
All
the
right.
cheese prophet. Okay.
So where did you put this? Okay, so he puts this in sword fights, which oh my God,
That
you're
puts it
a
in
fucking
sword
idiot.
fights. That gives it a 22, which puts it at a 5.5. And since it has 3 first place votes, it goes into second place in the top tier.
Yep. That's sorry, Zod.
Yeah.
Which,
It's
to be
still up there.
fair,
It's still up there. It's
to
still up there.
be fair,
Whoa, why are you putting that up there? We're
slow
on that
your
one now.
roll.
No. Bring
What are
it
you
back down.
doing?
Bring it back
What
down.
are
Bring
you
it
doing?
out.
What are
All
you
completely out.
doing?
Completely out. No.
What is happening?
I don't know.
I don't know. Where do you want me to put it? 5.5? Like,
I want you to put Kill Bill
We
up to
didn't
Royale
do
Cheese.
part 2 yet.
We didn't
haven't
do
done
part 2
part
yet.
2
What
yet.
is happening? I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. Our editor went rogue. He's gone rogue. We have no clue what's going on right now. He just decided he's off on his own fucking.
Kill Bill. Time out. Wait.
Oh my God! What's
Justin.
happening right now?
Justin, let me speak to you in English, not Kryptonian.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Not Wisconsin. Let me speak to you in English.
Wisconsinese.
Kill Wisconsinese, whatever the fuck, cheesehead. Kill Bill Volume 1 goes up to Royale with cheese.
okay.
Okay.
Stop.
Now, stop. No, back down.
We haven't done 2. 2 is separate.
Now we talk about Kill Bill Volume 2. You started Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, so we know where you're putting them. Now, I started Kill Bill Volume 1, but because you stole the thunder and started Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, I will start Kill Bill Volume 2 again.
He changed his mind last time. So you and Zod can talk about it for 25 minutes, and then he'll change his mind again, and then I'll figure it out.
Zod, let's sync our timers.
I already put my number on the screen.
Start now.
Okay,
ahead,
I'm gonna
Zod.
say Royale with cheese. Plain and simple.
Shocker.
I look at these.
My God.
I look at these.
Royale with cheese, really?
Yes, I look at these as one complete film as I'm watching them. But even if I was to separate them, as PB pointed out, so we'll do it PB's way. One, to PB's gripe, they kill Bill in this one. 2, there is a lot of things that I think people don't give this movie credit for just because they're separated, and it pissed a few people off, myself included. But when you look at how everything gets resolved, the stuff with the snake, Michael Madsen, and just everything whenever he fucking talks, the church massacre, they say Beatrix Kiddo's name. Yes, I am a fucking hardcore fan. It's and the way it's delivered is so brilliant. So even if I was to take it on its own movie, you can't do anything but put this in Royal with cheese because it literally ties everything together and it explains everything. And just because it got separated and people don't like that, I think it's unfair not to put it in the same category because that's kind of a ridiculous argument because it'd be like putting Deathly Hallows Part 1 at top tier, and then putting Part 2 lower because you didn't like the ending or whatever.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa. Or putting Part 1 below
Right.
and putting Part 2 at the top because there's more action. They're really companion pieces, and they do their jobs.
Stop. For those people who do not understand Kryptonian, in English, what he's saying is these movies are one movie, therefore I put them in the same tier.
No. See, Chris is translating.
That's fine. That's
saying
fine.
even if you take them. No, hold on. Salute, perp. I say even if you take them, and to answer Deborah's point, because she has a good question here. She says, so Kill Bill Volume 1 is equal to Volume 2. I would say yes, because of the fact that for me, it's equal because you have the start of the story and you have the end of the story. Both of them are very slickly, masterfully made. Both of them have the same sharp width. Both of them have the nods. To me, it's just like going from Star Wars Episode 1 to Episode 2, right?
You mean Episode 4 to Episode 5?
Yes. It's like you can critique them as their own movie.
Yes.
But when you're doing a movie night, you're not going to skip any of those Star Wars movies because you're not going to get the whole story. Just like with Kill Bill. You're not just going to watch one and then go, okay, well, I don't need to see how Bill is killed. You naturally would watch Volume 1. It's like a cool throwback to like to be continued. And then you go into Volume 2 and be like, oh, everything's resolved. I'm happy. Bill got killed. The title makes sense if you're PD, right? That's why I would put this top tier.
I disagree slightly because I think that Star Wars is a great movie within itself, but Empire is a great follow-up. It's not a great comparison like to Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, which both of the stories are supposed to coexist. Like they're supposed to be together. Empire Strikes Back is not supposed to really be, the follow-up. So I don't.
Okay, but to PB's point,
that's a great comparison.
No, I disagree because, unlike movies I've seen cut off in modern times, like today, Into the Spider-Verse, Dune Part 1, right? The cutoff points make me realize how good Quentin Tarantino's cutoff point was, because it was like watching a Saturday morning show. He goes, okay, they defeated Sub-Villain 1, Sub-Villain 2. Tune in next week, or in this case, in the next fucking 2 years, to see the next volume and complete the story. So for me, it wasn't like quality dropped or something happened, and the cutoff point in the story made sense. Where they chose to chop the movie up, if I had to have a logical stopping point, it's perfect stopping point between this movie and the next. Whereas if I talk about, like, say, Across the Spider-Verse, the stopping point there, great film till I get to the ending, fucking pissed me off because the stopping point is so fucking abrupt and there's no easy transition. It's like, fuck, I feel like I lost the second half of the movie. This I don't. I could end this and go, I gotta pop in Volume 2 to finish the story. But if you were to just stop there, it's a good to be continued. It's one of the better cutoffs in a movie. So yeah, I do. I rate that. I rate Royale with Cheese because it does what it's supposed to do, and it's a good continuation of the story.
All right. So do we PB?
I don't know what you gave it anymore, Justin, because you're being a putz about it.
Well, he already did both of them, and it was Royale with Cheese.
What? So he switched it to a 6 this time?
No, he was Royale with Cheese the last one.
No, I was Master 8 with both of them, but then Zod convinced me to put it in Royale with Cheese.
Okay, whatever.
And I'm voting for both of them for the sake of time, and clearly that didn't even work.
No,
of course that didn't work. Where the fuck do you think you are?
Exactly.
The hell? Try and save.
PB, I don't think he understands what stream he's on.
No, I don't even know what planet I'm on.
I'm sure you don't.
Yeah, I don't. I
'Cause you're
don't.
in
But it's not
the
Krypton.
Phantom Zone.
It's not Krypton, thankfully, but
Yeah, I know. Because God knows that's the Krypton sucks. Anyways,
except for Marlon
Superman
Brando.
lover would say
if
that,
Marlon
obviously.
Brando was my dad, I would be like so rich.
fuck
you know?
yes.
But
Go ahead and put your lines on every fucking piece of prop in the room. Go ahead, do it.
yeah.
Okay, PB.
What's up?
Kill Bill, Volume
Two.
2.
Oh well, it's better than the first one, so it goes in what's the category here? I'll remember them at some point here.
Royale
Master-rate. It goes into master-rate.
So you think that the first one is Master 8? And
No,
the
he
second
thought the
one is
No.
first
Master
one
8?
was sword
No.
fights.
Or the
was
first
genuine.
one was sword fights, and then you put the second one in Master 8.
Correct.
That okay. All right. So this is
Zod,
um,
this
uh,
is why.
somebody do the math because I don't want to do it.
This is
myself.
why.
5.75.
This is the shit that brings the ego out.
Yeah, the second one is better than the
It's
first.
close. It's close. The ego is close. The ego wants to break out of the cage downstairs.
You want to know? You want to know
Dungeon.
why the
But
second one
stop.
is better than the first? That's important. This is just super quick. The second one is better than the first because it's fucking called Kill Bill.
And the first one
But
just
implies,
okay.
but it implies that there's a volume 2 because hey, in the first one we're on our way to Kill Bill, but we need a second volume to do so.
No. Okay, Chris, you're explaining this wrong. Let me put it to you, PB, like this, where I think you'll
You
understand.
gotta put it. No.
We both agree
What are
we
you
like
doing?
Dragon.
I hate this guy.
Okay, we both agree that we like Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so look at Volume 1
Welcome.
as
Jesus.
look at Volume 1 as the
All right.
under.
This will,
Dude,
this will-
everything, Justin. Look at Volume 1 as you're beating the underlings to Frieza, and then Volume 2 is you kill Frieza. But you can't have killing Frieza until
I
you
hate
get
that.
past
This is the dumbest
the
fucking
underlings.
argument.
No.
This one has to be,
Like
huh?
Goku doesn't jump the
In
Frieza.
Kryptonian,
He's
that's a
got to
very
kill the
good
mini
argument
bosses
right there.
first.
It's good. That's a good argument.
It's a
in
shit
Kryptonian.
argument that the second one is only good because the first one
PB,
exists.
I have one question for you.
Can you imagine how much the
PB,
first one would suck if the second one didn't exist?
no,
It'd be like,
PB,
what the fuck do you
PB.
mean Kill Bill? There is no Kill Bill.
Hey, PB, let me ask you one
Holy
question.
shit.
When was the last time Green Bay won a Super Bowl?
2010.
20.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say
long
2010
ago.
because I'm
Long
a fan
ago.
too.
So that makes your argument completely invalid. Anyways, so Volume 2 is up in Royale with cheese.
Wait, was that a football jab just randomly? He was just like, so they won 2010.
Sports,
Moving on.
sports. Your argument is invalid because sports.
Because, I mean, okay, I guess.
Look.
And Zod,
I'm
Zod,
gonna, you know
Zod,
what? I'm gonna make
you gonna argue with
me? Bring up the Giants. Don't you
right
dare.
now to just eliminate this conversation because this is stupid. This is pointless. I don't care. I want to move on. Kill Bill 2, better than 1, marginally. Fine by me. Both Royale with cheese. Let's move the fuck on.
Yeah, what's
Jesus
Okay, yeah,
Christ.
I agree.
I can't stand this shit.
No, in Justin's point.
It sounds mean.
Wait,
I would have liked to have
Justin,
heard
Justin,
of what
stop.
you really wanted to say, but I wasn't interested.
To Justin's point, yes, we'll move on because of sports.
Jesus Christ, reasons. It feels like a bad movie where it's just like, why did this happen? Reasons. Welcome to the channel.
Wait, time out. You circle back around because Zod wants to bring up this point because of reasons. The reason why we're on at fucking 11:30 or 12:30 Eastern is because of reasons. Because Mr. Zod up there wanted to go watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey Part 2.
Yeah, way to bring it back
Which, by the
around.
way, speaking of sequels, if you're into a sequel that's
Mic
better than
drop.
the original, go check
Mic
out
drop.
Pooh, Blood and
Mic
Honey
drop.
2. I'll have my review up tomorrow or maybe later tonight, depending on how drunk I get, because I need a lot of fucking alcohol
Mic
for this
drop.
panel. Jesus, I'm doing Death Proof. Okay, Death
Yeah,
Proof.
no, it was your turn anyway, but nobody fucking
yeah,
asked. But thank you for
go.
injecting yourself.
So Death Proof. I have to say, if you guys didn't know, I had the rare opportunity. This was another screening I got from my theater for doing reviews.
Yes, exactly. And he would have like pushed this stream back for that one too. And actually, if he had pushed this stream back for Death Proof, I would have been like, I completely understand.
Okay,
no,
so
he pushed this stream back for Blood and Honey Part 2. Just so you know, I want to put that out there. Thank you very much.
Oh
Go
my
ahead,
god,
Scott.
I'm never gonna hear the end of this one.
No,
Anyways,
you are not.
So what do I think of Death Proof? And I agree with Riz. Death Proof is very underrated. There were two. If you guys saw this when I saw it, this was played as a double feature. They even did the old-fashioned previews that were fake previews that became real movies later on.
Three of them, 3 out of 5 so far, have been made into real movies. Hobo with a Shotgun was one of them, and there was Machete. And there was Thanksgiving.
And Thanksgiving. But hold on, let me finish. So when I saw this was great.
I was trying to help you, man.
Yeah, I know the history. I was there. I actually saw it in the theaters.
No, I did too.
So
the only one I saw in theaters, like.
Okay, so I saw this as the original double feature. They are, like PB said, 2 separate films. These are distinctly 2 different stories, 2 different plots, but they were released at the same time as like a creature feature, double feature, old school thing. One, I like it for that. 2, I would say
if they're released at the same time and they play at the same time, I don't give a fuck if it's a double feature. It's one fucking film.
Oh no, it's 2 different directors, 2 different stories. They have nothing to do with each other. It's 2 separate films.
No.
It's different directors.
This is one whole movie that is.
Oh my god, we're gonna have this.
Listen,
guy. No. Hold on a second. What are we fucking talking about right here?
Oh, okay, so this isn't.
Stop. Let me finish the question. One fucking rectangle on the screen right now? Are we talking about one rectangle?
We are talking about just Death Proof. We are not talking about Planet Terror, which is the Robert Rodriguez film, which came out juxtaposed. It was actually the first film, and
but they were played as a double feature. Because Tarantino was in the movie.
We're talking about Death Proof.
Hold on. You're not talking about the entire experience as a whole, because that's a conversation within itself. We are talking about Kurt Russell driving a car.
Yes.
Okay. So anyway,
Brad, that's. Okay.
I was setting up. These were. PB, to answer your question, they were released at different times. They're 2 separate movies. But when I
they were released at the same time.
Exactly.
Only in certain theaters
as a double feature.
No, only
double feature.
Wait on. There's only a certain theaters that they have the double feature, and I got lucky enough to get invited. They were broken up. Anyways, that's not the point. PB. The point is talking about this one movie. I think this movie is underrated, as Riz says, and I put it with royal with cheese. Everything about this movie is just great as far as horror films go. There is a subversion of expectations in the beginning, and a clever trick he does where you think you're following the cast and it's not actually the legitimate cast of the movie. Even with introducing the first set of characters that he does, and I guess fucking spoilers, but I mean, there's a statute of limitations on that. So anyways, the first group you follow are not actually the heroes of the movie. I liked that. Kurt Russell is fucking amazing in this film. The way he could be disarming and then flip a switch, and then how it gets flipped on him, and you find out he's just a bitch at the end of the movie without his death-proof car. The way that you want to talk about female empowerment, the way they portray female empowerment in this movie makes complete fucking sense and is the right way that you show endearing feminine characters, because this is a cast of all women. And it says so much without beating you over the head with fucking social commentary. This is how you make the old school lead actress who's going to say the skill. And you just don't get one, you get 4 of them. So I mean, that's bang for your buck. Everything he does in this film, and then add on the homage to the old Grindhouse movies.
No, not homage. Homage.
Oh yeah, homage to the Grindhouse cinema.
Wait,
the way the reels cut.
Yes, time out.
Yep.
This is where you're wrong, because I'll go with Justin here. You just proved the point. This Death Proof and Planet of Terror were released together as Grindhouse. It was theatrically, however the fuck you want to put it, as a part of Grindhouse. A double feature that combined Death Proof with Robert Rodriguez's Planet of Terror. You went and you saw both. And everywhere I know, including LA, where this was premiered at, was released as Grindhouse Presents Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof with Robert Rodriguez's Planet Terror.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Robert Rodriguez went first, and then Quentin Tarantino went second. And
while this movie will be rated by itself. Go ahead.
Well, I think that while we're presenting it as its own movie, if we are going to be honest about this ranking, it belongs in the coveted position. Say it with me. This is what it was meant to be. Honorable trash. It's supposed to be trash.
Go ahead,
They made it to be trash.
What is it? Where do you put this?
I put this with royal with cheese. You're fucking high.
He's high. But you know what, Zod? I reject your hypothesis and combat it with a bit of Mr. This is just improper. Because honestly, I agree with him. I love these movies and this movie alone together, but this is all of the 70s craptastic, action-packed proof of we are going to throw everything we can on the table. Honorable trash, because I don't think
I definitely am high right now. I
Let me finish. I don't even think Quentin Tarantino took himself seriously for this movie.
Yes, I think even not taking it seriously, you can put it in fucking honorable trash.
That's the point.
I would
Tarantino himself would have put this in honorable trash.
Yes, he would have. To
be honorable trash.
Zod, I'm gonna give you this. This is honorable trash with the side of Royale with cheese. Because honestly, I love this movie to death, but this is so honorable trash, it's not even funny.
Oh my god. If we're talking about if we're supposed to be talking about how film is made, even it's purposefully done this way.
Yes.
that doesn't
But
mean
because
though,
it's purposely done that way, it
It was
belongs
done
right
purposely to
there.
be honorable
Oh my
trash.
Exactly.
No, I
Oh
understand.
my god.
I understand
Okay,
why
PB,
you put it
PB.
in Royale with cheese because
Jesus Christ, PB. I need a
you
logical
did.
voice.
Hold on,
Because
hold
I can't
on,
believe
hold
what I'm hearing
on.
right now.
Dude, Zod. You put in
PB
Royale with cheese
and
because
all
he
your
did it in a way
cheeseheadedness,
that you
please
feel like.
bring some clarity to this, and I'm sure you won't. I'm sure you'll
Oh,
put this
please,
up, but whatever.
please, let's get it over with.
I put this in not applicable.
Yep. Okay.
He hasn't seen
Oh
it.
my god.
Fuck
Okay,
no.
this is fucking
God.
weird. Okay, so I put it the highest, and you two fucking ridiculous people put it in honorable trash.
It's a 3.33, so you put it in Kurt Russell something.
Yeah,
Kurt Russell
exactly where it
driving a car.
belongs.
Wait, that's the
Because
most
Kurt
appropriate
Russell
category. Kurt
drives
Russell
a car.
driving a car, which was supposed to be a joke category. I didn't think it was going to actually be
happens.
in this
It
category. The audience,
Justin, come on. High five it right here.
Can you say
How
that?
is Jackie Brown the one movie I will never watch get above a movie
on,
I've
Justin.
seen multiple times?
Justin, come on. Give me the high five right here.
All right.
No, down here. Down here. See where my hand's at? Slap my hand right down here at the bottom of your screen. Boom. Yes. Because it belongs
Oh my god.
in Kurt Russell driving a car.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Right, it
does.
belongs there, which is why the two of
Mathematically,
you put
like,
it in
definitely
fucking
does.
honorable trash. Like, what the fuck?
It's great. That's great.
I wanted it to be an honorable trash, but
I did too.
I'm fine with it being in Kurt Russell driving a car.
Because literally speaking,
It's Kurt Russell driving a car. It's funny.
You know what,
great.
Deborah, I wondered too.
I think Quentin Tarantino would find our ranking really weird.
No, I think
Yeah,
actually
because
probably put it right
Jackie
where-
Brown.
honestly,
I think he'd be pretty happy with it right now. Scroll up.
I think he would.
Scroll
All right.
up.
Yeah. Like Royale with cheese, Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, Jackie Brown, sword fights. Okay, Kurt Russell driving a car, but that was intentional. That was supposed to be intentionally like a trashy film, and I don't think enough people realize that it was supposed to be honorable trash, and so it belongs in honorable trash. And for some reason, you think that it's brilliant because he did it intentionally, which makes sense, and I understand where you're coming from. But at the same time, I disagree, and I simply
okay. I'm gonna cut it off with
your
this.
hypotheses.
I'm gonna cut it off with this. There are people who say they do movies an intentional way because either it works out that way, like for instance, M. Night Shyamalan, right? His movie The Happening. He now claims he meant it to be corny or whatever, but we all know he was going for serious. And then there's people like Quentin Tarantino who actually meant it to be what the movie turned out, and he did it with style, which for me
honorable trash?
No, honorable trash is something like a movie like Jackie Brown for me personally, because I don't think it's a bad movie, but I do think it's trash, which I explained earlier. This shouldn't be in honorable trash because there's nothing trashy or unwatchable about it. Jackie Brown I've seen twice. Once a long time ago, once for this review. Death Proof I have seen multiple times, especially on Halloween.
Let me ask you this. What do you think Quentin Tarantino ranks as his best film?
Oh God, I don't know, man. Tarantino's mind is way.
Because I've heard him flat out say it himself.
Or
not only have I seen him, I have seen him say it like almost face to face.
All right. Okay.
Did you
see him in person? You say Django? You say Django or what?
Justin? Django or Pulp Fiction?
I say Kill Bill.
Or Kill Bill.
You say Kill Bill?
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
Reservoir Dogs.
from his own mouth, he says the definitive best Quentin Tarantino movie is insert this later. Okay, so let's go to the next one. What is it?
Oh my god!
Ah!
This is a great stinger. Everybody's got to keep watching to know what Chris knows. God damn it,
The next
Chris.
one is Inglorious Bastards.
Oh, wait,
And
who
Do we
goes
even
first
have to
here?
talk about this? This is PBs, but do we even have to? Go ahead, PB.
Yes,
I feel
PB
like we
goes
don't
first.
even have to.
PB, go.
Just scroll up so that we can see all of the tiers, guy. You think it's going to be this low on the list?
No.
No,
Better
that's
not
because
be.
it's a fucking Master 8.
Whoa! What?
I agree. Master
100%.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm sorry.
Well, hold on. You think it's Master 8. Why do you think it's Master 8? Why is it not Royale with cheese?
I mean, it's not Royale with cheese because there's just a touch too much satire for what the seriousness of the situation is supposed to be, in the sense of we're meaning to completely murder Hitler. That seems like a
Thank
very
you.
serious
Thank you for
situation.
actually saying that out loud, because I agree 100%, and that's why I put that in Master 8. And also,
just a bit too much.
Yeah, a little bit too much. And also, the first scene where it's supposed to be intense. It's supposed to be intense, but really, I'm just like, can we get this opening scene over with already?
I disagree
This
with
is
that.
dragging. I don't care. Like, let's get
Dude,
this
Christopher dude, this is where
Christopher
sometimes
Waltz.
Christoph Waltz.
it-
Christoph Waltz is great, but I
That
still
scene's got so
think
much
that
tension with-
it drags too much, because we have seen Quentin Tarantino with the dialogue and how
All right.
great it is. I thought it was boring in comparison to Pulp Fiction, and therefore, this opening sequence is supposed to be everything. Like them in a diner in Pulp Fiction is great and hooks you immediately. However, this one, I'm like, I understand it, but I think it's a step below, because I don't care about the slower scenes. And this becomes
I'm not invested in the slow scenes at all.
All right, Zod.
The slow shit at the beginning, I'm like, I almost wanted to turn off. Like the fucking
Go
thing.
ahead and give him another perfect score, guys.
So, but it is
Hi, Chris.
great when you give it the time that it needs. Master 8.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris is gonna be pissed with me because
it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, I'll be damned if I'm gonna put it in the top tier with Pulp Fiction.
Chris is gonna be pissed at me because
really
actually, I do agree with you guys. I think that it was like very.
Did you just say Master 8?
I agree with Master 8 because I think it was very much certain parts were highlighted for when the Academy Awards were coming out, and it does deserve the Academy Awards. But I do agree with one thing that you guys did brought up, and if we're being fair, because Chris says this in every review, and I've got to say it again, this is not historically accurate, and I did not realize that going into this. I should have, because it's Quentin Tarantino, but I thought it was going to be a rift while keeping the history behind World War II. I like the batshit ending in it, but it does play fast and loose with the historical facts, and I can't rate this high. Wait,
for sure.
Let me finish. I can't rate this high if I would take a point off for another thing where I'd say it's not historically accurate. I got to be fair across the board, and for me, this does not hit the history like whatsoever. There are certain tidbits they took, and I understand he said it's not supposed to be. It's his fantasy version of what he would have liked to happen, but it's not what happened. And for me, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I do agree with you guys. I would put it in Master 8 as well. I think that the biggest thing for me, and Chris, I'm being fair here because I know you can hear me with the headset now. I think that the way it was promoted, I thought they'd be historically accurate, but with a Quentin Tarantino spin. I like that I didn't expect what the ending was, and I wish history went that way, but it didn't. And it kind of takes it from where he set up what seemed to be a serious period piece.
Riz, I
to-
love you. If anyone thinks this is historically
Sorry,
accurate, I worry,
I worry about them. Yeah.
I
No.
love that. I love that, Riz.
No, I
Thank you
agree,
so much.
Riz. But at the time, with the marketing and the way that they promoted it, they kind of showed it as if it was going to be a Quentin Tarantino movie where he was going to do a spin on it. I thought he'd have at least a couple of things that might have been as accurate to anything, but it wasn't. And I have knocked off things for that very reason. So I got to be fair here. And I'd say for me, it's just a master A. I feel also, too, this was a typical Oscar baity kind of thing. And it really, to me, hindered some of what Quentin Tarantino is best known for. I really feel like he was going for the Oscars with this. And congrats, he did get it. But yeah, I know it's a what if now, but you got to understand when it came out and the way it was promoted and the way
Yeah,
the
it was
Academy was
like
boosting
kill
it.
it. Yeah, like the only
Whoa,
promotion that I
whoa,
remember
Justin,
is
if it was a
killing
what if-
Nazis. That's
If it was
all
a
that
what if
I remember.
scenario, they should have had Captain Carter there. to
All
kill
right.
Nazis. That would've been good.
Azad, are you ready to change
Go,
it to? Are you ready to change it to Royale with cheese? 'Cause I'm
You're
gonna
be
talk
going
you.
against
I'm gonna
the
talk
grain.
you up. I'm gonna talk you up. This
I gotta be
is
honest, I've always seen it as a step below. I can't put it up. I'm sorry.
I bet you
This
can.
one particular one, I can't put it
No,
up
no,
with
no,
the
no,
rest
no,
of
no,
them.
no, no,
It's-
no. Wait, time out. Let me go down my road here.
Okay, go
Christoph
ahead.
Waltz.
You got the floor.
Christoph Waltz. Let's put it this way: if you're
Tremendous.
going to pick a Nazi badass, he was the perfect choice.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
I mean,
He's like the Darth Vader of the film.
He was better in Django Unchained, but
Yeah,
that's just me.
but put it this way: Diane Kruger, she almost died. She almost died in the scene where he literally throws her against the floor and chokes her out. Oh my God. So, is this historically accurate? Yes and no.
I get where you're going with this because I know
Yes.
World War II very well.
Well, let him say
Wait,
it.
wait. I have the floor. Let me finish.
Yeah, let him finish.
If you were to talk about World War II and what was possible, were there Nazi SS officers who would do this shit? Abso-fucking-lutely. Everything you see in this movie, historically accurate or not, could this have been a part of reality? Absolutely. The first opening scene that Justin you put as horrible PBU whatever that you think drags out too long. Every World War II scene I've ever seen with Nazi people in it, and this comes from my grandfather who fucking liberated 3 Nazi concentration camps. Everything he ever told me.
You got my attention.
That is exactly how SS officers acted. They would walk into these inobscure little farms and say, I know what you're doing, and I know you're fucking with me right now. This movie, that first scene, did everything for me. Yes. Is it historically accurate? Absolutely not. But could it be? Sure. It absolutely could have been.
But let me
I'm going
just.
to put this
Nope.
in Royale with cheese because this movie is beautifully overdone in every way that is historically accurate. Whether or not it is itself historically accurate, this is exactly what they were dealing with at that moment.
Okay, and yes, I do agree, and that's why I said.
That's
But
right.
as I have put it, I have,
Listen,
and
Mr.
we
Dominican
have.
Republic, Puerto Rican bullshit.
Look,
You
no.
better fucking put this up one more notch.
No, I'm like I said, I don't change my
Master 8.
rating, and I agree with Master 8 because of the fact that I still feel like the way that it was. See, the first scene for me was a detriment, Chris, and I'll explain why. Because
Right there. Look at what the Riz says.
oh yeah,
Right there.
Has one of the best antagonists.
I do agree.
Antagonists
It's
as opposed
absolutely the best
villains.
fucking
who just
antagonist.
have a particular different.
That
Okay,
view.
hold on a second. You know what? Everybody talks
Christoph
over
Waltz,
it.
right
Look,
there.
just let me
Christoph Waltz
finish for a second.
accurately portrays SS.
Let me just finish my point. Chris, the problem that I have and the reason why I put it where I put it, and let's just keep in mind, being a Master 8 is no slouch. It's a great tier.
Right under
for
Kill
this
Bill
movie, I
think
and
it's
Reservoir Dogs. It's fine. Like
Yeah,
this is
but-
S tier. But these are
Justin,
good.
let me finish.
Yeah.
But here's to the point. For me, where it falls is your high points is where it flips for me because of the fact that the conversations were so serious and the portrayal of the Nazis and the portrayal of the Allied was so good. It hurts the movie because you're expecting it to be depicted in such a
No.
way that would be true. Yeah,
This
the
is on the
acting
level of
portrays
Monument Men.
where he goes with the story because the acting is so good and they're playing the role so well for me. In my mind, I'm thinking this is going to go to a serious ending, and when he takes that shift,
great.
it's whiplash.
It's so great. It's so great. It's not great. That's bullshit.
But you put that for Jurassic Park, so I get a fucking pass.
No,
Right.
no. You don't get a
I'm
pass.
sorry. It felt like, for me, this felt very much like.
Time out. To the point of things that you've talked about with your uncle, to the point of the things that Justin has talked about that are important to him. I watched this movie with knowing what my grandfather told me about the things that he saw in Germany. And no matter where this movie ended up, this isn't Schindler's List, which when I watched that, I felt the things that my grandfather told me about.
Fair.
I watched this movie and I thought, I felt like this was real. I felt like this could have happened. That this was an accurate representation of things that were never talked about World War II.
And you know what?
In that matter right there, this movie goes.
All right.
This movie goes to Royale with cheese because of that. Now, again, I would put it this way: the exact reason why I put it in Royale with cheese is because it is fucking epic, with an air of wink, wink, nod, nod. This isn't real. Royale with cheese, humor with accurate representation.
Wow. Yep. You are 100% correct. So it goes in Master 8.
That was probably the best well played joke I've heard Justin say. I respect Chris. Honestly,
yeah, I think we all respect.
I can understand
and his saying
why you would put this in Royale with cheese. No, in all seriousness,
you guys are fucking ridiculous.
It's fine.
Wait! Time out. This is the best time to ask the chat, to ask the viewer, Riz, Deborah, is this Master 8 or Royale with cheese?
Yeah,
Please.
so
see
everybody, you guys in the comments below, let us know, because this is probably the most contentious movie we've done so far.
You will have to wait and see until later on, because next up is Django Unchained, And who starts this one?
Who starts this one?
I don't know.
I think it's PB.
I
No,
thought I just did the last one.
he did the
Hold on,
last
I'll be
one.
right back.
Justin, this is you.
Django Unchained. Jamie Foxx in this great role. I have no choice. I have no choice because of the context of this. Because of how much every actor put into their roles. It's honorable trash. No, I'm kidding. No, it's Royale with cheese. Are you kidding me? Royale with cheese. This was the second Oscar that Tarantino won, and it was for a good reason.
Yeah.
Royale with cheese almost above Pulp Fiction, definitely above Kill Bill, but not quite Pulp Fiction, but fuck it, it's better than Pulp Fiction. And I think it's the best movie he's ever fucking made. It's undeniable for me. I loved every single minute of it. I loved like even the boring parts where they're talking about crap, and Christoph Waltz is much better in this film than in Inglourious Bastards. So much better in this. I think that he and Jamie Foxx do such a great job in like luring you into the movie. And for me, who I am like a kind of person who I am like ADHD off the fucking walls. So to have a movie without my meds, by the way, keep me in attention the entire movie. Goated. Enough said.
Where PB put it?
Oh no, Chris is next. We gotta go in order.
Oh yeah, okay. Go, Chris.
PB, where'd you put it?
No, I put it in goated.
Oh, okay.
And now it's your turn.
Oh, okay. Well, Django Unchained. Let me just say, everything I know about this movie, it is epically done. Let's just go with putting fucking Samuel L. Jackson in kind of an antagonistic role was masterful with the way that he's done everything else.
Yeah, he's like the obedient slave that's been around for the longest time. Like Tarantino's slave, like in a way. Like Tarantino probably joked with Samuel L. Jackson, like you've been so in my movies, you're like the old slave or something like that. Like that would be like
Jackson
one of the jokes that they made.
Absolutely was all in on this part because of the way that Quentin Tarantino sold him the movie.
Yes.
Trying to remember. Oh, hold on. Trying to remember what he said.
Are we going to remember in silence?
Let's get this going.
I think he said something about it was like his best shot because it was the most evil character he'd ever played. That was generically like a generic black person that was horrendous. And I think he said when he was sold it by Quentin Tarantino, Quentin Tarantino basically said, "This is everything that you've never played." And I because of those things, because of the way it was done, and then you go with the way that now my brain just went away.
You're so close.
I know, Jack.
Leonardo
DiCaprio. The way that Leonardo DiCaprio plays his part, the whole thing that he fucking smashes a glass, literally on camera, and they continued rolling through it. Just everything about this movie.
What's up, Brett?
Perfectly done. Brett, thank you for being here. But I say this is goated too because it is absolutely some of the best. Would you ever put Samuel L. Jackson in that part?
Only
I
Quentin
mean, a typical.
Tarantino can
Exactly.
cast him in
Exactly.
that part
Only
because
Quentin Tarantino can sell him on that part.
Only him, because without Quentin Tarantino, there would be no Samuel L. Jackson. Like, let's face facts. Pulp Fiction, great, but
There's a lot of weight to
we
that.
all got to know him, and he became a big star after
Another Cohen.
1999 with The Phantom Menace. He sort of got like his big thing, and without Pulp Fiction, like he would be nobody. He would be nobody. And then in a way, it's sort of funny how he's like the guardian of the slaves, like in this one, because Quentin Tarantino was also the person who gave him like the role of a lifetime. So in a way, like it sort of it mirrors back to that. Like, but it's also like not an insult on him, because like without Quentin, there would be no Sam Jackson. Without Sam Jackson, there would be no Quentin Tarantino. Without Pulp Fiction, without Samuel L. Jackson's performance, there would be a coexist. Why do you say no?
Because what made him, what started this epic run, was very much
Pulp Fiction,
Reservoir Dogs, and he one-upped himself with Pulp Fiction.
Sure.
So I think Reservoir Dogs is just as important to his epicness as Pulp Fiction and Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
okay. I can see where you're coming from, but I
okay.
think
So for me, you've got The Plantation, you've got Leonardo DiCaprio, Racist Zod. This fucking movie is Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese. Thank you.
I'm
he puts it.
A few people
he mentions racism and this whole thing as if it makes it better. Great.
No, in all
beautiful.
You're welcome. No, what makes this movie so great is I think Quentin Tarantino and the way he chose to cast the cast allowed him to get away with the commentary he's clearly talking about in this movie. And I think if any other director tried to do this, they would be fucking eviscerated. And I do remember there was some controversy when this movie came out.
There was a lot of controversy.
But I think that
there's gonna be some more.
I think that Quentin Tarantino does an excellent job. I think Jamie Foxx is probably, besides Ray, some of his best acting. I've never been impressed with Jamie Foxx, but I think in this film, I really feel he's actually trying to act like something else besides fucking Jamie Foxx. And I would say, as far as Leonardo DiCaprio goes, this is such a shift in what I was used to seeing him in, that it was so interesting to see him actually like playing a legitimately fucking terrible person, because he's played these different roles, but I can honestly say, if I'm looking at all of his films, I don't remember where he's just a straight up dickhead. Maybe Catch Me If You Can would be writing that line, but for the most part, yeah, he doesn't play these villainous kind of roles. No. So it was cool seeing him go out of his comfort zone. For me, this is a royal achievement. Christopher Waltz relationship, and like I said, the chemistry is everything for me. If you're gonna have dialogue scenes, the chemistry has to be good, and the chemistry between Jamie Foxx and Christopher Waltz is so fucking good. The downtime and those little moments, not even the action, but the moments where they're just talking and you see the different perspectives. Like, not all white people were assholes. which I like. I like throwing that in. Like, he attacks all angles of this story with no
He is
fear.
a complete mirror image of himself in Glorious Bastards.
I mean, yeah, it's like the complete mirror swap.
Exactly. Really
And
quick,
it's great.
I want you to highlight my last comment. The "So is Inglorious Bastards Royale with cheese or Super 8." Please highlight that one real quick. Yeah. Okay. And look what Deborah says.
Royale with cheese and the crown.
Yes.
Okay. So, PB, where do you put Django Unchained?
Oh God.
That's a master 8.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
So
all
it
right.
goes down.
No, it doesn't. But
It's a
because of
5.75.
No. This is what happens now. Like, okay, I love the movie. I had a great
It
time with
goes.
it.
Wait,
There's a
no,
couple
it
things
goes
that-
right
no,
there, right
stop,
there.
Justin, I'll tell you exactly where the fuck it goes. This is what's gonna happen. Is because it has the exact same score. That is not where it fucking goes, first of all. It has the exact same score as Kill Bill Volume 2. And since it's both on the top line, and I put both of those one line down, the three of you have to decide whether you like Kill Bill Volume 2 or Django more.
Kill Bill.
I can't believe that the racist film voted for Django out of this panel. Stop the Asian hate.
What'd you say, Chris?
I put Kill Bill above Django. Although
Then it goes in between the two Kill Bills.
it's very minimal.
Actually, he's right.
I'm good. I'm good with that.
Uh,
Of course,
I
I'm
mean,
the one doing the math.
I mean, come on.
Wait,
At this point, we're fucking
wait.
splitting hairs on which
Shove it
great
between
movie
the-
is greater than the other.
Listen, this is pure Asian racism right there. Split the Asians with the black guy. Go ahead.
Such a I would like to apologize
We're
for the statements
integrating
that I
them.
was-
We are integrating, not splitting.
Thank you.
Integrating.
Sure.
Thank you, PB. Thank
Sure.
you for bringing.
That's why.
Hold on.
diversity
That's
this
why
channel.
I had to go to the chat to get Inglorious Bastards up there because listen, he needs some Nazi hate in this fucking love
we're
fest.
all about love in the fandom zone, and in the spirit of love, we should move on to the Hateful Eight.
who starts this one?
Brett
Chris
is very.
Chris Zod.
Brett is saying some truth right there. Highlight Brett's comment. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, I do agree with Brett. That's a deep cut, Brett.
It
Very
is.
good. Cool.
Very good.
Glad
Very
to have
nice.
you on to say that. And Deborah said, a brave storyteller. I agree. 100%.
Indeed,
When Quentin
indeed.
Tarantino
Yes.
goes, we're not going to have anybody with balls who's going to have the money or pull to actually push a movie out.
I honestly, unlike the rest of you, or I'm not sure how PV looks at this, but I do not buy that he's done it 10. I know he said that, but I have a feeling he will have at least 2 more after it. Maybe much later and much longer of a wait. He will continue to write. There's no doubt about that.
I don't think he's done, but I think he'll be done with doing his own films because of. And we'll get to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
With that in mind, let's get into his next film, which is The Hateful Eight.
Royale with cheese. I don't even got to think about this. This fucking movie, just the scene when he's talking. Wait. Just the scene where Samuel L. Jackson is talking about what he did to that guy's son to get him to get into a gunfight with him is fucking masterful. Channing Tatum as a bad guy, I would have never fucking pegged that in a million billion fucking years. But he owns that role. And even though he's in it for a short amount of time, he chews up the fucking scenery with the lines that he's in. Fucking my favorite underrated fucking actor of all time who's finally getting love. Walton Goggins is such a fucking great character actor that's been so fucking like the redheaded stepchild of these movies. Like, you've all seen him, you've heard of shows he's been in, you agree he's great, but like Walton Goggins in this movie is so fucking good, and I was so happy he got a bigger role. Like, everything about this movie fucking works for me, and it gives me the feeling of Reservoir Dogs again, which you guys know I rated it high, uh, where it's one space and it's a lot of conversations. And I love the fact that he took two of his strengths. He saves the gore and the violence for the end and does the tense conversation throughout. So when that scene hits where everyone's poisoned, it is fucking crazy and people throwing up everywhere. I fucking love how Walton Goggins looks at the fucking coffee and throws it away. Like, every cue, the shit that's being done at this point, this is a man who has honed his fucking craft to fucking perfection. And this movie, I have seen so many times. I actually was lucky enough to see it in theaters before Netflix decided to be a dick and not put their shit in theaters. I saw it in theaters. This was such a fucking experience. And I remember the theater was fucking packed with people. People were like cheering, people were laughing, especially the Samuel L. Jackson story. And the greatest thing, my pet peeve is when people do exposition but they don't show shit. The fact that he exposits what happens and then he shows you and then cuts away before anything too grotesque happens has more of an impact to me. Like, I fucking love this movie. I really fucking love this movie. I put it up there with like Reservoir Dogs and everything else because this is like one of the movies where I like, yeah, I'm gonna watch The Hateful Eight. The dialogue is sharp. Everything is just so refined. This to me, where most directors kind of start to fall off, this to me is Quentin so fucking sharp, so precise, and just on his game. Netflix was fucking lucky. They were lucky they were able to market this and do it in like 3 fucking parts or whatever that bullshit was when they actually put it on the streaming service. And good for them. Like, fucking top tier, royal with cheese. I don't give a fuck. Great fucking movie. Go guys. That's all I gotta say. Great fucking movie. I love it. Fucking love it.
PB?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever saw this one. None of that was familiar, and then I read the info, and I was like, oh, okay, definitely never seen this one before.
Oh my god,
It's so
we have a watch along. We have a watch along, so that we could do a fucking watch along.
You're not gonna like this. So
If I did see it, I
am
don't
a guitar player. I love guitars. I love my Gibson SG. You know, I love it with every fiber of my being. And so when Kurt Russell decided to destroy the guitar, the Martin guitar, a vintage guitar, a vintage real guitar, it crushed my soul. I could not forgive. I almost couldn't forgive Quentin Tarantino, let alone Kurt Russell for that. And so, because everything about this movie was so boring and it led out to destroying a vintage guitar, and I was very insulted by that as a guitar player. There we go. I simply reject your hypotheses. It's a shit movie because of that.
Wow.
1 point.
Wow.
They smashed a vintage guitar.
Wait, time out. No, they didn't.
I'm going.
They got Martin to build them a guitar they could trash.
No, they didn't. It was a real guitar.
Yes, they did.
Sure, it was. But
it was a real guitar, but they built it specifically for that.
No. It was a vintage guitar. From what I learned, it was a vintage guitar that you could not replace. And I was very mad. If that was false information, please tell me how Kurt Russell did not destroy a real vintage guitar. Like I
can't believe I can't. Wow.
is that wrong? Is that wrong? As a guitar player, I am
that is one of the most. I think this might top last week's ridiculous.
Give it a 1.
I told you, Chris, that I
Holy
figured
fucking
that
shit.
this was going to be. Well, I didn't tell you this specifically that it was going to be the Hateful Eight, but as a guitar player, as somebody who admires Eddie Van Halen, that hurts my soul so much that I cannot, with the boring movie that it is, I cannot put this in anything. But I simply reject your hypotheses.
That's fine. Whatever. So,
I don't like it
his
because they
mind.
destroyed a vintage guitar.
It was by accident that he destroyed.
I know. It was by accident, but I don't care. It happened. And I was
What are you
insulted.
talking about? Listen, I have 2 words for you about it's still icky to see an instrument destroyed. I have 2 words for you. You know what those 2 words are? Anybody? Anyone?
Honorable trash?
No. Pete Townsend.
Oh, yeah.
No, that
He's
made me
not
mad.
Fucking
That makes
Townsend. Pete fucking Townsend. He purposely does it still to this fucking day.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. He
No,
will
yes, he
still
does.
do it.
No,
Anyways, no, time out. You put it in reject your hypothesis. I put it in fucking Royale with cheese. Listen, when ranked by viewers and by fans of Quentin Tarantino, this is like the 3rd best film. The 1st best film, though you guys obviously don't understand,
So good, I never saw it.
is Inglourious Bastards.
No.
By fan metrics, Inglourious Bastards is his best film, which I don't agree with.
The fan metrics are wrong. The definitive tier list is done here.
Wait. I know this. But that's why Deborah Cohen is so awesome, because she helped move Inglourious Bastards up to its rightful place. But Hateful Eight is still Royale with cheese. But because of Justin's completely false and improper,
it's very proper.
Improper.
You know what was improper? Him, Kurt Russell, smashing a vintage Martin guitar.
This is a 4.33, which puts it in.
It's a
We didn't even ask anybody else about this. We just talked about it within ourselves. I started with my hot take, and I believe it is. I simply reject your hypotheses.
Exactly.
You put honorable. You put it in this high rank of Royale with cheese. We didn't get to even talk about Zod's perspective.
Yes, we did.
It goes right to Jackie Brown.
No, Zod said about Hateful Eight. What did you put it at, Zod? You put it.
I put it at Royale with cheese.
Exactly.
I went through a whole big thing. I think.
Put it in front of Jackie Brown.
So it's a
4.33.
Put it in front. It goes in front of Jackie Brown.
In front of Jackie Brown.
Which, okay, and I want to clarify something. While I think this is a travesty, I can honestly at least see where this might. Personally, even if I was going with an objective opinion, I'd still bump it up one more tier. But I just want to say right now for everybody watching, Justin's reason is the most fucking ridiculous fucking reason we've had. Congratulations, Justin.
That's the most ridiculous. I think this is more
fucking week ago. Had the most ridiculous take for a tier list that we have heard. Justin is going for a hot streak.
I think this was more reasonable than the one last week or the week before.
Chris, you only had 2 bad takes. Justin is 3 in a row.
Justin's
congratulations, Justin. Worst
Justin,
fucking
get
take of the
wait,
night.
wait, time out.
We're going with the narrative.
Wait. Justin, shut up.
Take.
Justin, shut the fuck up. What's my 2 bad takes?
The Jurassic Park one, and I think there was another one. I can't remember. PB is
No.
better than this.
No,
What was?
no,
Because
no.
I know you had 2 ridiculous
No,
takes, PB.
no,
What was
no,
the other
no.
one? I know
No,
Jurassic
no,
Park
the
was the
one
big
guy
one.
who
Remember,
was
there
in
was
the
another
math
one
man.
too.
The other one was
my take on Jurassic Park was perfect.
Hello, Carmen. Say hello to Carmen.
Hello, Carmen. Hola.
Hey.
Hola.
Hola, señora.
All right. So, I'll give you one bad take, but it isn't a bad take. It's a perfect take because Jurassic Park is honorable trash. Will always be honorable trash. Justin, though, is simply improper. He's just improper.
This is the most improper shit I have ever. Fucking what? Because of
Are you
a
even
guitar.
listening to what
There's
I'm
no
saying?
fucking logical like fucking review besides that. It's like Kurt Russell broke the fucking guitar. Fucking terrible. I hate the movie.
No. It's not just that. It's not just that.
Obviously, it is. That was your point.
It was
that
a
was your point.
boring movie to sit through. They have a 4-hour Netflix thing on it, and I'm still bored, and I'm still like, there's no justification for destroying this beautiful guitar.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
It
He
does
put it
matter
there.
because
It goes
I think
in.
it's trash because they fucked up this guitar.
Okay.
They knew they did. And
We're on to the next one.
I will give you this. It was
Oh,
not
no.
anyone's fault except for the production assistant who put that guitar in Kurt Russell's hands, and it would have been good. It would have been great, but they destroyed a vintage Martin guitar, and guitar music means a lot to me, and I can't get past that. I can't get past the fact that
I can't believe it. I'm sorry, I can't believe this. I feel like the guy from South Park. I can't believe this is happening.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, am I crazy? Like, you think I'm crazy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're 100% crazy for that take. Like,
I think you're spot on, Justin. I think you're spot on. You stick by your fucking guns.
I'm putting in this, and I simply reject your hypotheses, and it's the only one that I'm going to put.
Thank you, Deborah. Finally, somebody with sense. You want to read that?
No. Oh, in a second. Enjoying movies is an emotional experience, not necessarily an intellectual one. And Deborah says, if it's on TV, you could fast forward that scene.
Yeah, I could, but on Netflix, it's like 4 hours longer, and I could give less of a shit about any of the characters.
Oh, he's gonna reveal Quentin Tarantino's favorite movie. Okay, so this is the moment.
Wait, time out. I gotta make sure that I'm sharing the audio. Hold on, just a second. Let me make sure I'm sharing
everybody who joins, you're gonna
moving on from my accurate take about the Hateful Eight.
Oh my god.
Okay, so really quick here. All right. So Hateful Eight ends up where it is. Now, I'm gonna start this one with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, with Quentin Tarantino talking about it himself. So here we go. Hopefully this plays.
I do think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my best movie. When you watch your own movies back, or I don't know if you do, but yeah, I do. When you do, yeah. When you why do you watch your own movies? Oh, I love them. You love them. I love my movies. I'm making them for me. I'm making them for me.
Yes.
Everybody else is.
Dude, Quentin Tarantino's so great.
Movies are on on TV. I'm like, oh hey, I guess now I'm watching Jackie Brown for a while.
I think that's such an honest answer because you talk to actors. Oh, I never watch anything I do, and or film.
What does that sound like?
Too painful. No, you like these movies.
I'm not them. I'm very happy with my work.
That's such a great answer. Like no, I'm actually
there you
happy
go
with my work. And
so
I think
starting on what Quentin Tarantino says about Once Upon a Time. It's his best movie. So here's my take on this. He's
boy.
absolutely right. This movie, and I go out to LA a lot. I love LA. I have been to quote unquote where the actual Manson family stayed, the caves and all that, which is actually got a church within like 500 feet of it. It's crazy. But their portrayal of everything in this movie, except for the final part of it, is beautifully done. It's so fucking accurate. I feel it through and through. But when I go and talk about historically accurate films, I have to say with this movie, if you're gonna fuck it up like he did, because this was perfectly done. The whole story of that last moment about how they kicked the ass of the Manson family and totally decimate them, the dog scenes and all that. I love how he stays very accurate to a lot of things in this. With fake characters, yes, this is mostly from thought and mostly a telltale. But it's got so much historical accuracy built into it in the beginning of this film that the end of it and the masterful, let's just act like what history actually happened never happened. This is beautifully done. I do agree with Quentin Tarantino. This is his best film so far. And I am of the mind that yes, he'll do a 10th, but I believe he has 3 more in him, and I believe he will do 12.
All right.
I'm going to strongly agree with Chris. So just to set the stage, there were some controversies in here that I think were complete bullshit and gave way to one of the greatest fucking lines in the real world that anyone has ever said, proving his dialogue has always been strong. And I believe for me, yes, Brett Cohen, and I've heard this from a lot of people. They don't like this particular movie, but I think you're missing what was being done with this movie. I think this is a very accurate portrayal to Hollywood in that time period. And if you don't know, he got a sign off from the people, the Sharon Tate family, to actually do this film when they saw the script. You can look it up. I think he did it tastefully. If you watch these other movies that have come out, the death of Sharon Tate and these other fucking cash grabs, I think him injecting what the end of her life should have been was more of a kind of nod to how it should have went down, and unfortunately did not. And I think he respects the story and the lead up to the events that would have happened and put his I wish this happened this way, but unfortunately it didn't. Margot fucking Robbie's in it, so automatically 10 out of 10 for me. We get a scene of Margot Robbie's feet, which is fucking gorgeous.
And by the way,
whoa.
Hold on. There's no shame on this channel.
like,
Margot Robbie has beautiful feet. Let's just get that out of the fucking way right now.
She does.
Yeah. And the reason why I simply reject your hypotheses that exist is because some bitch, and yes, I will say some bitch as a gay guy, like some fucking hoe bag decided to be like, Margot Robbie, I'm fucking it up already. But Margot Robbie, clearly does not have very many lines. So therefore, Quentin Tarantino, what is your response to your misogyny? That's the idea that she was going to present, and he said, "I simply reject your hypotheses."
All right, wait.
Your hypotheses being like, Margot Robbie doesn't have very many lines, but that's not what. What is your disagreement, Chris?
My disagreement is that I think the popular trope of Shannon Tate was portrayed very well. I don't think Shannon Tate was stupid. I think they show Shannon Tate as exactly what she was, which was she loved two men, which was historically accurate. This is very historically accurate on the part that she married one guy, but still had a um, very heavy liking to another, and they were both very closely involved with her. But she never went out of her way to interrupt or anger the people around her. I think she was very much trying to be someone who kept the peace. I think she loved watching herself. I think the scene in the movie theater was perfect. That she walked in, she didn't want to act like I am this big actress or that I'm popular or anything. I do believe she would have done something like that. Everything I've read, going into the historically accurate, not autobiographical, but the almost documentary books that have been written about this, very much portray Shannon Tate as exactly what she was: quiet but strong. And I think that's exactly what she shows in this movie. She didn't have to say a lot. She said what she had to say in this movie, and
I
it worked.
think people miss the point of this movie. People focus on Sharon Tate, but folks, this movie isn't about Sharon Tate. This is
No.
about Cliff
Mhm.
and his best
Yeah.
friend. This movie, and I think the point that people miss is this movie isn't about the history is just a bonus, and I think that's where people get hung up on. This isn't a Sharon Tate story. This is about
Oh,
two
yeah,
best
people get
friends
hanged.
who travel in Hollywood together, a stuntman and an actor who have been in each other's movies, and their
I'm looking
journey, and they
towards. I'm
happen
looking
to
forward
get
to the
caught
fall
up
guy.
in historical events.
Well, to your point, you're very much right. I think this whole point of this
Oh,
movie,
here we go.
I think this movie is very much this. What happens next door to the history?
Oh,
That is the
drinking.
point of this
It's
movie.
America.
Well, yeah, sure, but the point is what happens next door to history,
There's a lot of
and this is
drinking.
what
There's a
happened,
lot of drinking.
and drugs and all that. Great, perfect. I think it's accurate. Anyways, I put it in Royale. Zod puts it in Royale. Justin, you say you reject our hypothesis, but where do you actually put this movie?
Sword fights.
Okay, you're an asshole,
Oh,
and you're wrong. But okay,
You know what? At the top of sword fights, like
well, a 4 is a
well,
4
you're
is a
still an
4
asshole,
all
and you're
day.
still wrong. But okay, so sword fights is what, 3 or 4?
4.
4.
4, okay, and PB.
Oh, I put it in Master 8. What a great movie.
Okay, so let me ask you, for you, what keeps it from the top of his other movies?
It's not
Because I'm
Pulp
more
Fiction.
curious in your answer.
It's not Pulp Fiction.
Ah!
You have any idea how many 5s I have on this list that ended up on the top because you guys are giving 6s out like it's fucking Halloween? Like, here's a full candy bar. Here's a full candy bar. Here's a full. Fuck it. Everybody gets a full. What? You don't get a full candy bar. You drive the car.
It's kind of like Death Proof in a way.
Okay, so wow, this is a very intriguing
nobody
spread.
cricket.
Like,
My
you want me to
God.
like shit
I
on the
heard
movie
you.
because I
list.
didn't put it in the absolute top tier that I have reserved for literally one movie on this entire list, and I put it on Master 8, which I put like 5 movies there or something like that. Like, I could move everything down a tier, and then it would probably be in the right position for me.
I purposely am very disappointed in one person on this panel. That's Zod, Mr. Everything's going to Royale with cheese, and he puts the fucking Inglorious Bastards.
Dude, like I said, even I take Once Upon a Time in Hollywood being more accurate than fucking the whole of Inglourious Basterds. I'm sorry.
Right,
That's
but
just
it
always
still
been my
don't.
feeling.
It still doesn't make it to the top, butthole.
I mean, yeah, but you know, I gotta be
it
honest
doesn't
for my
deserve it.
peeps.
And now me and
And
Justin
I'm
get
a
to
fucking
argue.
villain.
Me and Justin get to argue over which one's better, Inglourious Bastards or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because we both gave it 5s, whereas you both gave it 6. So you're excluded from the discussion.
Does it go in Master 8 or does it go in Sword?
It goes in Master 8.
Yeah, but does it go before or after Inglorious Bastards?
Oh,
After.
I guess you gave it a 4, so then it's got to go after.
Well,
they tied.
Yeah,
but it has
because somebody
lower...
gave it.
Well, if
yeah.
it gets a 4, then
No.
it goes below a tier.
Well,
Inglorious Bastards technically goes up because the chat said so.
What are you talking about? Deborah said in the middle, which doesn't make sense because we got to determine. There's two ways.
I'm saying Inglorious
Bastards. She gave it a royal with cheese, but
exactly.
We
What
are.
What are you talking about?
We were just saying to give their own ranking. Oh no,
that's about Once Upon a Time.
This was a while ago.
Once Upon a Time does go in Master 8.
Yeah, we know that. The point is, it's at the exact same number as Inglourious Bastards.
No, because Inglourious Bastard now, because of the chat, which we're talking about adding the chat's opinion to this. The chat helped Inglourious Bastards go up to Royale with Cheese.
Oh, what?
No, it
yes.
didn't.
Yes, it did. Wait, okay. I put it. Wait, time out. Where did you put Inglourious Bastards?
Who are you asking?
PB?
What are you talking about?
Where'd you put Inglourious Bastards? Where?
I put Inglourious Bastards at a 5.
Exactly. Okay. And Justin, where'd you put Inglourious Bastards?
At a 5.
5.
No, Justin.
No, sword fights, which is
no. Inglourious Bastards, you put at number 5.
Yes.
Not Once Upon a Time in
we're talking about
Hollywood.
Inglorious Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards.
Okay.
Zod.
Same page.
Zod.
Yes, I did.
I put it at
Master 8.
I put it at a marginal Master 8.
Okay, that's fine. But you put it in Master 8. Zod put it in Master 8. I put it in Royale with Cheese. And then Deborah put it in Royale with Cheese. You divide that by 5. And what does that come up to?
Divide. Oh my God.
No. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6 equals that. Divide by 5. It comes up with the 5 point.
Yes. 5 point what?
3.
It's like a 5.4.9, which still moves up.
Which doesn't move it up because it's
under
9
rounds up. 9 rounds up. That rounds it up.
It's 4.9, so a 5.4.
Wait.
We don't skip to the 9.
Tim, where do you put?
Tim can vote in the straw poll next week.
Tim, where do you put Inglourious Bastards? Do you put it at the top or the next one down?
Center the list, Justin.
I wouldn't know the chat. The chat should have every bit of a say in this because that's what makes this right.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna have figured out for next week. That's the whole point.
Yeah, well,
very
sure.
Next week.
So steak on a bun is still better than not on a bun. It's fine.
This is a beautiful tier list. Look at how it just crescendos up. And Pulp Fiction is still in the number 1 spot. So boom, victory.
This was so close to being the shortest stream that we've ever done. And
Bullshit.
we fucked it up because we talk too long. And everything.
There's only 10 fucking movies. That took goddamn 3 hours.
I know.
Right.
Only 10 movies, but like we can talk about them for 10 minutes. It could be an hour. You know, like,
it doesn't matter. We're never gonna get this done early. You know that.
Yeah, but this guy, we're never gonna fucking ever get done early. We'll always be 3 hours.
Yes or no? Is this the final tier list?
Well, I don't know. I'm waiting to see what Tim has to say.
All right, so
Tim is Inglourious Basterds top tier or second tier?
Volume 2 is Royale with cheese. Django is Royale with cheese. Kill Bill Volume 1. In between Django is Royale with cheese. Reservoir Dogs.
Show Tim's comment right there.
What?
That's not how it works, Tim.
Boom.
I'm not redoing all the math.
Better than
6
Kill
plus 6
Bill?
plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals divided by 6. We're going to go 5.5. It goes up a tier. Put it up there.
Again. It's a
it's a 5.5.
Okay.
Which puts it up.
This is it.
What are you talking about?
Inglourious Basterds up 1.
Or not.
Oh,
yeah.
it goes
okay, all right. Here's the thing. No, leave it there.
No,
I am using my power of veto, and
we do not have the straw poll set up.
We do not have the straw poll set up.
It doesn't matter.
Put it on. This is a great promotional.
Yes, Chris, it
for
does
next
matter
week.
Because the whole
yes, it
point
does
is
matter.
that
Justin, put it back down.
Chat is supposed to get one vote. Not everybody in the chat gets a vote.
Justin
gets a vote.
Justin.
What?
You know I'm right.
Switch it back.
You know I'm right, Justin.
All right, I'll switch it back. Yeah.
As the mayor of this channel, I have used my power of veto. Look.
Listen, you are the mayor of McDonald's Playland.
So let me just say this first. And Chris, you actually bring up a great point.
And Zod would be the Hamburglar. Just based on his
let's do.
We know.
Everybody shop. This is a good lead-in. Next week, I am going to try out a straw man poll where you guys will get to vote. So 6 people watching. If you're interested and you want to have a say, we're going to try something a little bit different, and we're actually going to include the chat in our next week's votes. I will have something set up where you guys will actually be able to vote on some of the movies with us. Who are we going into next week? I just forgot the name.
John Hughes.
John Hughes, thank you. I'm super drunk and fucking high. That's gonna be interesting because I'm not on John Hughes.
We're talking about like John Hughes movies, and I have come up with a list where it's. What's that?
I mean, PB, you know all of the movies.
Well, this is not just.
You probably have
John Hughes written movies. He's
heard. You sick fuck.
Oh yeah. Okay. Good point. Anyways, I am going to, for everybody watching, I'm going to next week try a different, a little different thing like Quentin Tarantino did. It's full circle. It all connects. Where I'm going to have you guys also vote in the chat as we're voting along, and we're going to factor in those numbers as well in our tier list ranking so that we can have a more interactive experience for you guys and maybe get some fucking reasonable people to not make ridiculous fucking statements. Justin.
Like Zod.
I'm glad as an like to save my face, you were like Zod.
Like, by the way, the only person here who really knows what they're talking about is me. We know this. That's fine. I'll bring the ego in here because the ego knows.
Oh my God! Are we? Do I have to do a deep cut and do
no. Look.
This is the only person on planet Earth I knew who fucking defended that movie. I give him credit because he fucking stood by his guns. I will give you fucking credit for standing by that, like I will stand by Blue Blood and Honey. But
standing by what movies?
Yeah, I give a credit, but Chris, come on now. We all
No, for what movie? Or for what movie? Jurassic
Wait.
Park.
Jurassic Park,
Honorable
for
trash.
sure.
Hold on. Let me finish.
It is honorable
That's
trash.
the fun part about this tier list, folks. At the end of the day, every movie we've talked about, we're just splitting hairs on where we put them. But these are all good directors with pretty accomplished stuff, except for our Shyamalan tier list. That was a really tough one. But these
We're
directors
gonna
we've
redo
been
it
talking.
again with
No, we're not. I already
me
told you
and
I do
Chris
not
and
change
having
the
our
ranking.
input because
No,
we're
don't listen to
smarter
Justin. It's not changing
than
anyways.
Zod.
Good
No,
call,
it's
Brett.
not
Good
changing.
call,
That's the
Brett.
final list. Anyways,
No. You did not have the
There was
input
two of us.
as I did. You did not have the chemistry that you have with this beautiful family.
what? Did you hear that? Oh my god!
Rod, Chris, and myself, you didn't get our opinions on, I don't know, the cabin in the woods.
I
like,
would have
sort
to
of
say
crap,
this. I would
Or
have to say
the
this. In
signs
defense of
things.
Zod,
It was a
honestly,
sign of,
in defense of
holy
Zod,
shit, our thing is going
honestly,
to shit.
the
Or
only two opinions on this
didn't
panel that
even.
really matter are Zod and my own. But that's besides the point.
Oh yeah, because you tend to agree on everything, and that's why Zod is okay with you being.
No, you don't. Because Zod is completely wrong about Inglourious Bastards.
And you were wrong about Jurassic Park.
No, I'm not. I'm absolutely right on. Brett, Deborah, Tim, is Jurassic Park not just honorable trash? It has no story. And it's all about CGI and what can we do with dinosaurs? Where's the real plot
right
behind
now?
that?
Like what the fuck?
Oh my god.
No, there's no way. Like you asshole.
Jurassic
No,
Park is honorable
no
trash.
way.
It's beautifully done.
There's
It's
no way.
masterfully
Jurassic
executed,
Park.
but
Not
it
having
is
to talk
honorable
about you.
trash. Why do I
Okay,
hate?
so
I don't hate
if you
gingers.
guys want to see these hot
I
takes
love
next week,
gingers.
join us Wednesday nights for our fucking tier list. I gotta start heading out because Bitchy's gonna come and bitch,
Kick your
if I'm
ass. We
still
know that.
on. Yeah,
She
what,
doesn't
on
kick
most
his
nights.
ass.
We
She
should,
takes the
at the end of the
unicorn
stream,
on, unlubes it,
knowing
makes
that
sure
this
it's
is the
nice and
conclusion,
dry,
can you
and then
please?
rams it straight up his candy ass.
My name is Chris Knight. I am from the Royal Review 3000, Chaos Central, and Hogstar YT. I am the most awesomest of all awesome. And the Zod person up above here, do not pay attention to anybody behind the curtain because he is a phallic, soft,
What?
wannabe villain who has no clue what he's talking about because Jurassic Park is all in all honorable trash for days and days.
Okay, how I can counter this is just say watch my streams with Bitchy. My girlfriend is super hot, so I'm definitely not phallic. Continue, Chris.
Well, you are, and now I will not disagree with your second comment there, but that's not my point to put in there. Anyway, no, but guys, I am out of here. Listen, we all like this. We all have fun with this. We were having an excellent time, and this is great stuff. So, guys, take it easy. Have a good night. All right.
See you later.
Okay, and next, do I even go to Justin because he's retired?
Yes. I will say this. This is the most accurate. Can we go back to the actual? You bring up the tier list again. This is the most accurate tier list that is reflective on not only what you guys would probably feel. Like Quentin Tarantino movies are great, but man, this makes me feel so great because like it's mostly top tier. This is Quentin Tarantino is one of the best directors of all time. I'm so happy that most of his movies actually, yeah, almost most of his movies are royal with cheese. Yeah. So that tells you as much as
Maybe
anybody
50
else who had no idea who the hell this person was. That this guy knows what he's doing, and he's a great director, and he's engaging, and he's fun. And to get a guy like me, like saying like, yeah, Royale with cheese, yeah, Pulp Fiction,
I think
Kill Bill, Django Unchained, Reservoir Dogs. I wouldn't agree with that, but
I think that
it's a testament to how great this guy is and how he spends his time crafting these movies. He doesn't just write, like, he doesn't just direct these movies. He writes these movies too. He writes the fucking dialogue. This guy is amazing.
Okay,
I'm
go
done.
ahead, baby.
I had to wait for him to say that he was finished because, like, the amount of long pauses that one person can take and not think that they're gonna fucking get interjected every goddamn time is astonishing. Anyway, I think you're looking at the list the wrong way. I think you need to scroll down a little bit and show off the bottom of the list. Yeah, exactly. Nothing in the bottom too. 0. Goose egg. No stinkers. Never made one. Didn't happen.
Kurt Russell driving a car was on purpose. That's why
we
it
live by that
belongs
statement.
in Kurt Russell driving a car, because it is about Kurt Russell driving a car. It makes sense.
Okay, we're doing our fucking outros now. Jesus Christ. So, do you have anything coming up?
On Pop Culture PB, check it out.
Okay, and Justin.
Fuck you, Zod, with your goddamn snicker.
Yes, that would
Double
have
snicker.
been exactly what I would have said. But watch my new video. That's it. It's Bill McClintock. He's a YouTuber.
He's a guy.
And we talk about music, and it's fun.
Cool.
Go
Go
check
watch
that
Justin.
out. But you know, if you don't want to do that, then I don't know, watch the stream again.
All these shit balls.
So check out my short on Pooh Blood and Honey 2. Review coming either more than likely tomorrow morning sometime. I will post my non-spoiler review because I really don't want to ruin it. I got a screener, and thank you to a particular theater. I'm not going to say because it's specific to our area, and I don't want to dox them. You son of a bitch. But yeah, thank you for giving me a screener to the film.
Yeah,
and
get some, Greg. Get some.
Yeah, fucking Greg. I want to fucking punch that motherfucker. Anyways, maybe I'll have to do a whole video on my hatred.
I would never tell you to silence your cell phone.
But I would like to say thank you to Marcus for that. And I have DM'd the people who created Pooh, Blood and Honey, so I'm trying to work on that. Also, I have 2 bands that I'm in talks for my fandom talks, so stay tuned for that. They played at my bar, and I have some shorts of them playing, so check those out. And yeah, we got more stuff. We've got a watch along every Tuesday. If you want to hear me and PB bullshit, drink, and talk hilarious about movies, check out our Tuesday watch alongs. Wednesday is the tier list, and Friday, I'm still trying to work it out. Normally it's night talks, but shit happens. Tuesday and Wednesday is where it's at. I got reviews coming out. I got some horror movies that I'm going to be talking about, and I might have my first ever review with The Little Dictator on a movie. You guys will see, but it will be me and my daughter talking about a film, and I'm actually looking really forward to recording that. So check that out. It'll probably be released on Friday, and yeah, she was super excited about filming something with me. So I'm really looking forward to having her do something with her dad, and we'll be talking about a particular movie. She's a little shy, so be easy because we'll be doing it live, but check it out on Friday. There'll be no late night talks because the fact that I am taking her to the movie, and she looks really forward to being on camera and talking with you guys. So definitely check that out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Go check out the alt channel and watch some Marvel Snap games where I get my nerd on and I talk about new cards. War Machine just came out, so now I got to do an Iron Man War Machine deck. Fuck, my life is tough. Anyways, thank you very much. And remember, there is only one rule here in the Fandom Zone.
Quentin Tarantino doesn't make stinkers.